Sammy Lubeck, and I am Chicagoland's real estate agent.
Do you use a Link EBT card to buy food? Please listen carefully. You could lose your benefits if you don't act soon. Before January 31st, visit saveoursnap.org to learn about new rules, how they impact you, and the steps you need to take to keep your food benefits. Don't wait. Go to saveoursnap.org today. That's saveoursnap.org before January 31st. Sponsored by the Illinois Commission to End Hunger. Aired in cooperation with this station and the Illinois Broadcasters Association.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is Tyler and Shea. Tyler and Shea.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Chicago's home for sports. ESPN Chicago. Always streaming on the ESPN Chicago app.
Check this out.
Good morning, and hope everyone's staying warm out there. It's Tyler and Shea on ESPN Chicago. So much to get to on this Saturday morning. We've got plenty of college football still to discuss on the wake of Indiana's national title. We'll also address Josh Pate's proposal for how to fix college football and the playoff system. Both Shea and I thought that was pretty interesting from earlier in the week. Got a couple conference championship games as well tomorrow in the NFL, and the Bears and the Regression Police. We'll tell you who's going to be on the right side of history with that one. No phones today, unfortunately, but you can tweet the show at TylerAki_ or at Shea Norling, and we'll get to all of your comments throughout the show as well. But Shea, good morning to you, and we begin today's show with a little bit of two-sided things here. All right, first of all, it is Derrick Rose night in the city. There's no place that's been throwing a party lately quite like the United Center. We saw Jonathan Taze that night earlier this week on Monday. We've seen PCA and Caleb Williams out and about at the UC all week long. I'd imagine if I had to lay a large sum of money on this, they will be at the game tonight when the Bulls take on the Celtics, as Derrick Rose sees his jersey go into the rafters at the UC. Well-deserved honor for him. But for me, all right, Derrick Rose, Shea, is my all-time favorite athlete. He kind of was a superstar in the league and really in this city in like the prime impressionable years of my life. I mean, we're talking about when I was basically the age of 11 through 15 years old is when he was a stud and winning MVPs and getting the Bulls to a 1 seed and making this thing really go. Him, Tibbs, Joe, all those guys. And it's why tonight for me is really cool, really special. But I may be taking it too far to a degree.
Yeah,
because
you just popped a blue chew.
I mean,
we got to be careful. If that camera slides down at all, people are going to see something they don't necessarily want to see.
That's why we're going chest up today. But
strict headshot.
Right. So, but this is what Derrick Rose is to me. Like, he is my favorite athlete of all time, and I'm not shy about that. Anyone that listened to Waddle and Silva yesterday heard me wax poetic about the guy, how much he means to me. I'm probably not sitting here doing the show with you right now without Derrick Rose being a superstar for the Chicago Bulls. But like, I have lots of Derrick Rose paraphernalia in my life. I've got the signed jersey. I've got this like canvas print that the Bulls sent us for being season ticket holders or like select game plan holders for a number of years. Like, he is my guy. He is my 1-1 in terms of athletes in my life.
So I'm a little disappointed because, look, wherever you're doing the show from this morning, it looks beautiful. The background behind you, it's very classy. It looks nice. This is like a place that you might bring a girl home and she would think, oh, this guy is doing well for himself. I was hoping that you would do the show from the Derrick Rose shrine that you alluded to on Waddle and Silva yesterday. Because, listen, love Derrick Rose all you want. Have your favorite childhood player, all of it. You as a 28-year-old man claiming that you have a shrine to Derrick Rose in your home.
It's a two-piece shrine. Like, it is the jersey and it is the canvas print above.
I feel like you're underselling it. The way you talk about the way you gush about this, I feel like there's posters in there.
there used to be posters in my childhood bedroom. Like, I had the Dragic poster. I had a couple other ones. There was the Joakim Noah steal and dunk poster that I had from the 2008 series against the Celtics. Like, you want to talk about high school and middle school, Tyler, like, that's what was on the wall in my room for those days. But nowadays, I've tempered it down. Now, I will say I was describing my bedroom yesterday to Waddle and Sylvie, and I think I did undersell it to a degree. I got home, I looked around, I'm like, okay, there's a few more things in here than I thought initially.
Do you have like blue sheets?
No. I have gray
good.
sheets.
Okay, good. I just wanted to make like how young are we skewing with the bedroom setup? That if you walk in and it's like sports paraphernalia plastered. I have one thing in here. It's like a wooden cutout of Comerica Park. That's the one thing I have hanging in this room that's sports. But I guess I'm different. I had a fat head on the wall growing up.
No. You can say it. You can say it. You have a wife. Like,
well, no,
that's why you're limited.
But I was also going to start from a younger spot of like, I wasn't the guy that was pinning posters or taping posters to the wall when I was a kid. I had a fat head that I got for Christmas one year. It was Curtis Granderson, and that was the only thing that I ever had on my wall, really sports-wise, my whole life.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't hanging posters and stuff like that. That was not my bag. So I heard it, yes. And then you get older, and like you said, now I have a wife. I can't go running around taking trifolds out of an old Sports Illustrated and pinning them on the bedroom wall.
I had the Sports Illustrated for kids posters everywhere. Yeah. You name an athlete, I had it on the wall somewhere.
I never even got Sports Illustrated for kids. My mom only ever subscribed me to Sports Illustrated, the real one. Like, I never got the 4Kids edition.
I feel like you just tried to big bro me right there.
No, I'm not being. That's not like. I think she did it by mistake because she also signed up for the swimsuit edition. So when I was like 11 years old, Sports Illustrated swimsuits getting dropped off in July, whenever the hell they delivered it.
And it's going straight under your bed.
And I was like, oh my God. I thought I had to hide it. I did because I felt like I had something I wasn't allowed to have. But that was the extent of it for me. Like, I didn't ever build the shrine or have the stuff hanging from the wall. So I heard yesterday, and you're like, yeah, I got a shrine to Derrick Rose. And I'm going, what the hell? This dude's pushing 30. He's got a shrine to Derrick Rose?
That's who he is to me, man. Like, you know, if we wanted to do a little bit of a verbal meme here, like if we're doing the domino meme, the little domino to the big domino stack, like the Bulls winning a 1.7% lottery, and that's the little domino, and the big domino is my eternal singleness. Like, that's what we're working with right here. that if the Bulls don't win a 1.7% lottery, I may have a girlfriend right now.
You'd be settled down. You'd be married with a kid. You'd have a job at Deloitte. Like, you would not. Your life would be so different if not for the Bulls getting the number one pick in Derrick Rose.
Yep. I remember exactly where I was when I found out that they won. I was literally in the on-deck circle of a Little League baseball game. I heard people start to rumble, and then my dad told me, I think it was, and I went to bat, and I was like, damn, Bulls are going to have the number one pick. And like, that was the only thing on my mind. Not, all right, are they going to throw me a fastball or a curveball here? No, I was like, all right, Derrick Rose is going to be a Bull, or Michael Beasley's going to be a Bull. Like, that's what was running through my head during that at bat.
Probably struck out during that at bat too, but thank God it wasn't Michael
Beasley. I don't remember
Beasley.
The result at all, but
that is funny because that is one thing I think is kind of universal, is thinking about big NBA news when I was a kid. The LeBron decision stuff happened while I was at a baseball game. You know what I mean? Like we were all playing Little League baseball, and LeBron did the decision.
I remember rushing home, I think, from like baseball practice for that. Like, that was a huge night because the Bulls were right in the thick of it. Like, pretty much a lot of the rumors leading into that were it was going to be the Bulls, and you were hearing it from some pretty reputable people. And then as you got closer and closer to the day and the actual show itself, it started to become more, all right, it's looking like Miami. It's looking like Miami. It's looking like Miami. And that was, I mean, that's, you want to talk about a fundamental childhood moment, that you're talking about one right there. It's a core childhood memory for me right there.
Thought exercise.
Go ahead.
Would you rather have things played out the way they did and you got Derrick Rose, or would you rather have gotten LeBron in 2010?
Ooh, that's actually a... Now, I think if the Bulls get LeBron, we're talking about banners on the wall, banners in the rafters because of this. And for that's like, as much as I love Derrick Rose, I'll admit, like, he's a polarizing guy in Chicago. Now, I think as we get further and further away from when he tore his ACL, when he didn't return with the Bulls, as we get further and further away from that, I think the appreciation continues to grow for him.
Definitely feels that way to me.
As much as I would love to have LeBron and have potentially experienced titles during that run, I don't know if I would trade the Derrick Rose experience for anything.
Wow.
And maybe it's, I don't know, like, he was like the prodigal son. He was obviously from here. It's a big reason why the city embraced him and wrapped their arms around him the way that they did. And the MVP year was something. And I don't know, man. Like, this is the... I don't know if I would trade the Derrick Rose experience for what I believe would be a lock to have banners. And I'm talking banners plural. And maybe that's loser's mentality. But, man, the ride with Derrick Rose was something special. And something that I don't think a lot of Chicago fans would trade for anything.
I also think if you give truth serum to Miami people and ask them if they're happy with how the LeBron years went, it might be equally polarizing, because it was this standing on the stage and doing not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Mm-hmm. You end up only winning 2. You have one of the worst finals losses in history to Dallas.
Yeah.
And then you leave. Like, you get 4 years of it, and then he bails. So I think what you're saying to me is like the emotional connection that you have with Derrick Rose. One, he's from here, Mr. Illinois, Mr. Basketball in the state, the Simeon stuff, being a McDonald's All-American, going to college, then coming back as the number 1 pick. I feel like there's an emotional connection there that you can never have with a mercenary team, which is what a LeBron Bulls team would have been.
Like, I would never have loved LeBron as much as I loved Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
I never would have.
And if you do get LeBron in 2010, you never get Derrick Rose. So that's why I just brought it up, because I had never thought about it that way, of like the Bulls were the bridesmaid on the decision. Don't get him, and then because of it, they end up getting Derrick Rose. So is that actually did things work out the way it should have?
They had Derrick Rose before that. They drafted Rose in 2008, and LeBron,
they
could have played together theoretically, and that was always the dream of. You had this young up-and-coming star, a guy who ended up winning the MVP that year after the summer of 2010, and you could have paired that with LeBron and potentially Wade, and you're not talking about Carlos Boozer, but there's just, I don't know, like there's a good comment in the Twitch chat from Mendoza 15. He says, was Derrick Rose our version of Iverson? And I would guess a lot of Philly fans feel the same way about AI. Now, AI wasn't necessarily from there. I believe he was from Virginia. But that's close. Like, Derrick Rose, there were Bulls fans that knew who Derrick Rose was in this city from the time he was in, like, 8th grade.
Yeah.
And knew that he was destined to be some superstar. And when he did what he did at Simeon, and when he did what he did at Memphis, and, like, the only last cornerstone for Derrick Rose truly becoming a legend, like, he's a legend in the city, no doubt about that. But, like, if he wanted to even further his legend, one more step would have been if he ended up going to Illinois and doing what he did at Memphis at Illinois. Like, you want to talk about a guy who would have owned the whole damn state at that point. And we'd be talking about Derrick Rose. Yeah,
I mean, look, I've always been kind of on the polarized side of it. I see, obviously, not having grown up here, and I don't have that connection with D Rose, so it never really latched onto it that way. But I do feel like you're right in that the further people get away from everything that happened when he was here and the injuries and not coming back, it feels like the appreciation's getting more universal. Like, I remember when I started here 4 years ago, and we're doing, does Derrick Rose deserve his number to be retired as a conversation? And people are like, no. But it feels like tonight everybody's kind of embracing that this should happen. That it's more than just nostalgia bait by the Bulls which feels easy. Like they are not great again. They're going to blow up the deadline again and sitting at 500, sitting in the play-in tournament. It's the same team they've been. It's just frustrating and annoying to fans. So it's easy to throw them a bone and say, here's your nostalgia bait. We're going to retire Derrick Rose's number. But I don't feel like we've had much of the, no, he doesn't actually deserve this. Everybody seems pretty on board now.
Yeah, he was an MVP. Usually that's a barometer. I know Caleb Williams at USC, he got his number retired. He only played there for 2 years. But one of the barometers at USC is you win a Heisman, you're getting your number retired here. And I get it may not be apples to apples comparison when you're talking about college versus an NBA franchise. But Derrick Rose's number has effectively been retired for a decade. Anytime anyone thought about wearing number 1, they got bullied out of it. I always harken back to what Michael Carter-Williams, when he got traded to the Bulls, and he got bullied out of wearing number 1 when he initially was supposed to wear that number with the Bulls. And I just think back that was the moment where I was like, all right, yeah, this number is going to be in the rafters. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like, this guy has to have his number in the rafters. And I would never fight. Now, Hall of Fame, that's a different conversation. But in terms of a guy who franchises, they don't have like a set criteria for what belongs and what doesn't belong in the rafters. Derrick Rose, to me, absolute no-brainer for what he meant to the Bulls, to the city, and really to a generation of Bulls fans. He didn't have the rings, obviously, that Jordan had, but for all intents and purposes, for my generation of Bulls fans, he was our Michael Jordan. He never won a championship, and that's the major difference between it. But he was the best thing that we've had in this franchise in the last 25 years. Seriously, like ever since Jordan retired the second time, the Bulls haven't had anything close to that. Aside from Derrick Rose, that's the closest thing. And that's not to say that there isn't a sizable gap, because there is between Derrick and Jordan. But Derrick Rose is the closest thing to Jordan that this city has had on the basketball side of things since Jordan retired the second time. It's not even close.
It's the way that they do business, man. I mean, Carmen said it yesterday. You gotta luck into a star. Like, that's just how the Bulls are going to be. And Derrick was the one. It was Jordan and then Derrick. And I get, like, I remember getting in fights when I was in college. I had a kid who lived on my floor who was from Chicago. And we'd play 2K. Like, you know, we'd get in a dorm room together and we'd just play 2K for hours and talk basketball. And he used to tell me, and all these guys that lived on the floor, he'd go, Derrick Rose has a better shot at being better than Michael Jordan than LeBron does. And we'd all go, okay, dude, like that we've heard enough, thanks. But that was like my exposure as a kid to, that's the connection that Chicago fans have with this guy is. Yeah. It doesn't matter what anybody says about him. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about him. He's the guy. So I get like why it's so important to you. I just still can't believe you have a shrine in your bedroom.
I'll take a picture of it. I'll send it to you. Do you have an athlete like that in your life?
Not really. I mean, you know me, man. I'm wired different. I appreciate the guys who are good for my team, and then when they're gone, they're gone. It's not like it sticks with me. Whenever people ask me about like who are the childhood athletes that stand out to you, I think of the guys that I hated. That's always the first name. Of course you do. I'm not. Those surprised. Are always the first names that come to mind, are the guys that I just hated. All right, so Curtis Granderson was probably the closest to like being that type of guy for me. But
what about Verlander? Sure,
yeah, Verlander was up there. Scooble now, but I'm an adult like that, so that's a different deal.
You think there's not adults out there that feel the way that I feel about D Rose, about Caleb Williams?
I don't know. Man, I wish we had phones because I'd love to take calls on that. Like the concept of, as an adult, can you have the same infatuation with an athlete that you had as a kid? I mean, my dad hated it because he hated the Yankees. But Alex Rodriguez, for a long time when I was growing up, was like that guy. When he went to the Rangers, signed the major deal, then got moved to the Yankees, as a player, I loved watching him. Incredible hitter, elite glove at shortstop. He was the best shortstop on the Yankees. Mm-hmm. It's a crime they made him play third base. I'll go to my grave saying that. But yeah, I don't like. I also don't have what Derrick Rose was to you, which is like the hometown kid. I would imagine, having grown up in Detroit, now there are kids who are like Aiden Hutchinson's that guy. He's from Northville or wherever he's from, and went to Michigan and then gets drafted by the Lions. Maybe he's got that connection for a lot of people. Certainly not the player like that Derrick Rose was, but it's sport-to-sport comparison. But you get my point. I don't know if I had one of those because I never had one that was like, this kid grew up here and then became that guy.
Yeah, I'm not even saying like it has to be someone that grew up here, because I'd imagine there are adults who feel the way I feel about Rose, about some of those 2016 Cubs, whether it's Rizzo, Bryant, Baez, Zobrist, Lester, Arrieta, Hendricks. Like, I mean, that's a team that meant a lot, not just to one generation of Cubs fans, but like 3 generations of Cubs fans.
I do have like 3 Tom Brady jerseys still in my closet right now,
so
but I never
got your guy.
I never had stuff on the wall.
You never? Okay. All right. But when you have 3 jerseys, like, what do you have, different colors or what? Like,
blue, white, and the throwback red.
Okay, so you've collected all the Infinity Stones of Tom Brady's jersey-wise. So like,
except no Tampa jerseys.
No Tampa. That's fine, but like I get that. I never even thought about getting Derrick Rose Knicks or T-Wolves or Pistons jersey. I remember I was in New York. Like New York City, a week after he got traded, and we were at the NBA store, and I already saw they were printing on like those customizers, the 25 Rose Knicks jerseys, and a little piece inside of me just broke. I think I still have a picture of it on my phone.
I hate seeing Justin Verlander wearing an Astros jersey did kill me a little bit. But I was at that point also, what was that, 2018, 2017? I was old enough that I got to be reasonable about this. I can't get too nuts. It's like 22 years old. I'm not going to cry. You know what I mean? I think when you're a kid, there are times. I'm trying to think. There probably is one. I'd have to ask my mom or my dad if there was ever a player who got traded or left, and I cried about it. Because I know that happens.
I've got one. I'll share that one with you when we come back. Also, if you want to jump on into the show, you can tweet us at @TylerAki_ or at Shea Norling. And you can jump on into the YouTube and Twitch chat. We'll be monitoring all that throughout the show. YouTube.com/@ESPN1000 Chicago. Twitch.tv/@ESPN1000 Chicago. When we come back, I'll give you that answer, the athlete that made me cry, and also the Bears and regression. How much of it can we expect coming off of the heels of a wildly successful 2025? That's next here on Tyler and Shea.
This is Tyler and Shea. Tyler and Shea.
I know you're gonna dig this.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago. Are you tubing? Take a stop at the ESPN Chicago page on YouTube. We got shorts to scroll, pressers to parse, interviews to intake. Subscribe and see it all at the ESPN Chicago page on YouTube.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
The game is on the line. You need your best play. What's it gonna be? Do you make the call for welding or HVAC? Do it now and you could complete your education at ETI School of Skilled Trades in as little as 7 months. We offer day and evening classes to fit your schedule, and financial aid is available if you qualify. Visit eticampus.edu or call 888-830-7678 to learn more. ETI, it's your future, own it.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie. You know me, I hate the cold, and I don't like dealing with cold drafts in my house. That's why we called Window Nation a few years ago, and the difference, incredible. Right now, it's a great time for you to do the same. Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale is going on now. Plus, you get your new windows with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. So if you feel drafts, see fog or mold around the frame, and your heating bill keeps on jumping, it is time. Do not wait. Visit windownation.com today.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Tyler and Shea with you on this Saturday morning. No phone lines today, but you can tweet the show at Tyler Rocky _ at Shea Norling. Also, chime on in the Twitch chat and YouTube chats as well. ESPN Chicago. We have to bring this up, dude.
I was just going to say, can we just bring up what happened in the break in our group chat?
So we've got a group chat, and Justin Pottinger is a member of said group chat, one of our great producers here at the show, at the station. And I sent you a picture of what I have in my room dedicated to Derrick Rose, all right?
Fully a shrine, by the way. Fully a shrine.
It looks very plain. All right? I mean, it's quite a shrine.
Dude, if you just had like a light above it or like a candle below it, people would think it's like a religious artifact.
Anyway, Potsy chimes in and goes, "Yo, Aki, don't listen to these dudes. If Alex, his girlfriend, if Alex let me, I would have my Jamal Charles fathead in our bedroom."
Lost the plot.
He's not even a Chiefs fan.
Lost the plot. I don't understand it. I mean, and also the way he says my Jamal Charles fathead, implying he has it, which I imagine means, Aki, if we went to his childhood home in the suburbs and walked into the bedroom, Jamal Charles would be staring us in the face from one of his walls. We'd walk in and be getting hurdled by Jamal Charles. I mean, I haven't had a fathead on my wall since I was like 14. And even that might be a generously late age to have had a fathead on my wall.
I don't think I ever had a fathead on the wall in my bedroom. I take that. I had remember those tradable ones, those really the small ones that came in like
the minis.
They're like 4x6 or whatever. I had those. in my bedroom, but like the big ones or even like the half-size ones, those were all in the basement.
Is Fathead still like? Do they still make those?
I know they make. I'm guessing they do. I know they still make the tradable ones because those are super popular.
Like, I wonder. Obviously, I'm not a parent. I wonder if kids these days are still like, "Hey, can I get the Patrick Mahomes Fathead on the wall?"
Yeah.
My nephew just got one. He's like 6 years old, so it's still going.
Oh, really?
Okay.
What did he get?
He got a Caleb Williams one.
There we go.
Right.
There
Love
we go.
it. Love
The
it.
Caleb Williams Fathead.
Something tells me, doesn't Fathead seem like the thing that's already been bought out by Fanatics?
I'm sure it is, yeah.
Like, of course, it probably has been. All right, let's hit the break here. We're also getting word that another one of the producers at the station has a Matt Albers shrine in their bedroom. So, I mean, I guess maybe you're the weird one. You don't have an athlete shrine. You're the weird one, Shea.
I don't have it. I don't like athletes like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm different.
Doesn't love the game. Doesn't love the game.
That's certainly not true.
All right, when we come back, the Bears and regression. What will be true? What won't be true as we head into 2026 on the heels of a wildly successful 2025? That's next here on Tyler and Shea.
This is Tyler and Shea. Tyler and Shea.
I know you're going to dig this.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago. ESPN's The Hockey Show. Ready to rock the rinks with Chicago's best hockey knowledge. Brought to you by Chevy Drive Chicago. The Hockey Show, Wednesday night at 6 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
Guys, this is Courtney Cronin. Let's be honest, most of us aren't great at saying what we feel. That's where jewelry does the talking. And nobody does it better than Rogers & Hollins, family owned since 1910. From engagement rings to stunning jewelry and watches, whether it's a gift that speaks for you or something that elevates your look, they've got it all. Jewelry says it best. Rogers & Hollins makes it last. See the Rogers & Hollins difference at a store near you or go to fornowandforever.com.
Attention basketball fans, the DePaul basketball season is here, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Blue Demons live as they take on some of the top teams in the country. There's no better place to experience a game than Wintrust Arena, home of the DePaul Blue Demons. Get your tickets today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets and be part of the action. That's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Go Blue Demons!
We're here at Menards Bank Sale, asking shoppers what they're putting in the bag to get 15% off.
Paint, batteries, tools, toilet paper,
extension cords, grocery items,
hardware for my cabinets, snack items, crackers, and some canned goods stuff.
Shop vac supplies, toothpaste, cereal, coffee, dog treats. I've got a lot of stuff to grab.
The list goes on, but the sale ends January 24th. Hurry in for Menards 15% off bag sale. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Getting health insurance that fits your budget isn't easy.
At Get Covered Illinois, we are here to help.
We are the state's official health insurance marketplace.
A place where health insurers compete for your business. A website where you can compare multiple health plans and pricing in one place.
And where you can connect to financial help and free in-person assistance.
Because you deserve insurance. GetCoveredIllinois.gov. We're here to help.
Sponsored by the Illinois Department of Insurance.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-687-5192. That's 800-687-5192. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-687-5192.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norley. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Fun ride with the 2025 Chicago Bears this season. A season that I think most people will never forget. We'll never see that replicated, at least in the fashion and the week-to-week of what that was. You always think back to the miracle wins, the way they pulled out some of those games. We're not going to see that again, all right? It was fun while it lasted. It was a hell of a honeymoon season for Ben Johnson in year number 1, the pairing between him and Caleb Williams. But now it's on to, all right, nitty-gritty. This stuff matters now. Like, when we get into next season, if they're winning games miracle-wise next year like that, we're going to start to talk more about sustainability. And we brought up sustainability over the course of this season, too. How good is this team? And then the Eagles game happened. And it was like, all right, you can't deny it at this point. This is who the Bears are now. They're just a flat-out good team. Next season is going to be interesting. We'll talk more and more about roster stuff from here to there. But obviously, on the heels of what the Bears did, and frankly, what the Commanders did this season too, is what has a lot of people's antenna up. That doesn't mean you can't feel optimistic about the future. Just like in Washington, I think Commanders fans still should feel optimistic about the future. Jaden Daniels had himself a hell of a first season. Took a step back in year 2, some of that injury related, but I'd imagine over the course of the next couple of years, he'll put himself right back into the conversation of the elites of that class of 2024 quarterback class with Caleb, with Drake May, and the likes. But the regression stuff has now become a big conversation because 11 wins in 2025 is far more than anyone could have imagined for the Bears. I think people would have been happy with 9. And then if they got to 10, it would have felt like gravy. 11 and winning the North is something we did not see happening one bit. Now, the Bears on paper, and again, it's dangerous to do this right now, but on paper have the toughest schedule in all of football. So much can change between now and then. The Bears entering this season had one of the toughest schedules in all of football. It ended up being one of the easiest schedules in all of football. So much can change between now and then. But as we look at places where we can see regression coming for 2026, how much of that do you buy for this Bears team as they hit the next season?
A lot of it, to be honest. Look, the comeback wins, you can't repeat it. You're not going to win 7 games when you're trailing in the final 2 minutes. Turnovers, you're not going to get 35 turnovers again. Like, it's just, those things don't repeat themselves.
No.
You could get 25 turnovers and still have a very good year taking the football away. I think you could have 2 or 3 final 2 minutes wins where you're trailing. The thing, though, I think that a lot of the people who automatically assign regression to it, because it's fair. You look at it, you're not going to turn the ball over that much. You're not going to take the ball away that much, I should say. You're not going to turn the ball over that little in all likelihood. You're also not going to win games in that fashion. I think what people are missing is they don't need to be trailing in the final 2 minutes 7 times either.
Yeah.
Like, they can win games more regularly. I think all of the regression stuff is real, and all the red flags are there for things that will correct season to season. What people aren't accounting for is, like Washington, you hold as this example of, well, they couldn't repeat the success in the first year of Dan Quinn. Why is the reason? Like, look, dig into the why of that. It's because in year 1, at the trade deadline, they mortgaged part of their future to go and get Marshawn Lattimore. They immediately made their defense one of the oldest in football. And then this past offseason, they made really shoddy moves on their cap sheet in paying Terry McLaurin a bunch of money and trading for a, let's just say it, very out-of-shape Deebo Samuel, who wasn't that good. Like, they made a couple bad moves that made their roster one of the oldest in football in a second. The Bears didn't do that, and it's why people call in now. Like, I think Monday, Cap and Hood got a caller who's like, why at the trade deadline we were told they weren't good enough to contend, so they couldn't do anything. At the deadline, I was saying, don't do anything, because the likelihood of winning a Super Bowl, can it happen? Sure, but is it likely? No. And if you start mortgaging your future or moving picks around to pick somebody up at the deadline, you get old in a hurry, and you're light on assets to rebuild this. The Bears didn't do that. So I look at this offseason, You have cap flexibility with the moves that you're willing to make, assuming they are willing to buy their way under the cap by a significant amount with signing bonuses and restructures, whatever you want to do. And they have all their draft picks. And I think for everybody that's going, you got to take 3 wins off the table immediately, guaranteed. Those 3 wins are gone because all of these things are going to regress. I think that those things, if those things happened with a better football team, they would win 15 games. So I'm operating from they're going to get better, and also regression is still going to happen, and they're going to land right around 10 or 11 wins again.
I was going to say, I think next year, 10 wins, we would be looking at a 10-win team next year as possibly being better than the team was this year.
100%.
Even though there's fewer wins, and maybe they don't end up winning the North. Like, who knows what happens Green Bay health-wise next year? What's the next step for Minnesota? Can Detroit bounce back after bringing in Drew Petzing as their offensive coordinator? Like, this is still going to be a damn good division, and it's going to be a good division year to year. But I can also say this. This team went 11-6 and won the division and went 2-4 in the division. I don't think you're going to see the 2-4 in the divisions happen as often. I think you're actually more likely to see a 3-3, maybe even a 4-2 in the division next year. However, your out of division record, when you do go up against that first place schedule for next season, that's where you can see the dip. And with people talking about the regression, sure, yes, regression can happen. But I'll also point you to the 2017 Rams. All right, the 2017 Rams, on the heels of a 4-12 season, eerily similar to what the Bears went through the season before Ben Johnson got here. All of a sudden, Sean McVay was running the show in L.A., and Sean McVay took a 4-12 team to 11-5. That very next season, when everyone was probably saying, oh, there's going to be regression with the Rams, that very next season, Sean McVay went 13-3 and took his team to the Super Bowl. Like, that scenario also exists. There is that path for the Bears where if you make the right moves this offseason, you can look more like the 2018 Rams that went 13-3, that were, I mean, you played in one of the ugliest Super Bowls that we've seen in the modern era, but yeah, we're in the Super Bowl. You had a chance to win that Super Bowl. The Bears could find themselves down that road too. I don't think it's out of the question. Both of these paths exist, and even if they go 10-7 next year, that doesn't mean I'd rule out the fact that they can be a Super Bowl team. I think you're going to see some really good 10-win teams next year because of how strong the NFC is.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to see this powerhouse record-wise. Like, I don't think we're going to see what we see in the NFC West, where at the end of the year, you had 3 teams vying for the 1 seed. I just don't see that. I think this thing evens itself out a little bit next year.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point because, again, you talk about regression has to happen automatically. Well, they aren't bringing the same roster back. The Rams are a good example of team gets better because I go back to this Bears team won 11 games with a roster I don't think is all that good. Like, Caleb's getting better. Caleb is not a finished product. The offensive line is excellent. Your running backs had good seasons. I don't think anybody would honestly say you have 2 top 10 backs. That's not true, right? The defensive line, do I need to go through it? They don't generate any pressure at all. Montez Sweat has double-digit sacks. He's like 25th in win rate among qualified edge rushers. The secondary was unhealthy and also bad for large stretches of the year, and they survived on takeaways. So people look at it and they just go, face value, okay, this defense is not going to be able to get takeaways as much as they did last year. I would add the nuance of they're going to be a more complete defense. There's no way they're bringing back this defensive line.
Yeah.
There's no way they're bringing back this secondary as is. I think it's fair. Like, is progression, is growth linear? I don't know, but I think it's fair to say Caleb, year 3, year 2 under Ben Johnson, comfort in the offense, will be a better player next year. I don't think the offensive line is going anywhere. So it's more...
Well, health-wise, I mean, they got a perfect bill of health pretty much this year.
Yeah, now
aside from the Ozzie Trapillo stuff at the end, that was about as good as you could have asked for health-wise. That's the one place I would look at and say, you want to talk about regression, you may have it offensively in terms of health.
that could hit you, especially Jonah Jackson, who is a guy who has missed time. But the rest of that line, Darnell Wright hasn't missed a ton of time in his career. Joe Thuney's not a guy who's missed a bunch of games. Dalman has missed time going back in Atlanta, but it's been a couple years since Dalman missed significant time to injury. So there is a chance that these guys can stay healthy. I wouldn't count on it. But again, that's why I also don't think it's like they're just going to ignore this offseason on the offensive line. It's not true. They're probably going to add a left tackle, be it in the middle rounds or trading for some veteran or finding a veteran in free agency. I have to imagine they'll add depth on the interior. So it just like everybody just says this is going to get worse and here's why. And I'm like, well, the team is going to change. It's like Sean McVay walked into the Rams, and Jeff Fisher, I'm sure the year before was 8-8 because that was the Jeff Fisher way. We're just going to be 500. But I think you brought up they won 4 games the previous year. Jeff Fisher gets fired. They hire Sean McVay. Obviously, year 1, Jared Goff, I think, was how that lined up. It would have been rookie Jared Goff with McVay, or was Goff's first year with. Is this like really Goff, Caleb, same deal? Was Goff's first year with Jeff Fisher?
I'm looking right now. The leading passer in 2016 was Case Keenum. Let me see if Goff was on the roster, though. Goff was on the roster, yeah. He played 7 games.
So, number 1 overall pick, Sean McVay gets him, and you take a 4-win team to 11 wins. I don't think that roster was that good at that time. It wasn't the roster that went and won a Super Bowl in 2021, certainly. Obviously, a different quarterback, but even like defensively, that's not the same roster. Skill player-wise, it's not the same roster. So it just, you're allowed to also get better while things that you expect to regress do regress.
For sure. All right, I do want to tell you who I think has the most pressure on them this offseason in the entire Bears organization, because this is going to be a telling offseason. Now that you're in winning mode, I think there's someone, and maybe it's a little out of the box, but this person has the most pressure on them if this team is going to be serious about winning. I'll tell you who that is coming up next. I want to hear yours as well, Shea. 312. Actually, no, we're not going to give out the phone number. You can tweet us at @TylerRocky_ and at Shea Norling. I knew I was going to do that at some point today. I gave myself a goal not to do it, but no, we'll read your tweets. We will also read your comments in YouTube and Twitch, youtube.com/@ESPN1000 Chicago, twitch.tv/ESPN1000 Chicago. All that's next here on ESPN 1000.
This is Tyler and Shea.
I know you're going to dig this.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago. Do not, and I mean you, do not miss the Cap and J Hood Show, now morning 6 to 9 on ESPN Chicago. But you're busy. Things happen. We get it. If you have to miss it, you can always listen to the podcast on your time. Find it on the ESPN Chicago app or wherever you go to pod. It's brought to you by Republic Bank.
Is your hot water suddenly gone? Drain clogged or overflowing? Sink dripping endlessly? Act now with Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Four Seasons fully licensed plumbers are on call 24/7, no extra fees for nights, weekends, or holidays. Four Seasons with over 30,000 five-star Google reviews and the Torch Award for Marketplace Ethics proves their reliability.
For all the right reasons.
Call 866-4Seasons.
Where's the single best place to shop for and experience the largest variety of brand new cars, trucks, and SUVs all under one roof? The Chicago Auto Show, February 7th through the 16th at McCormick Place. Find out more and buy tickets at chicagoautoshow.com.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNChicagoContests.com.
That's ESPNChicagoContests.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Tyler and Shea with you on ESPN Chicago. Stay warm out there today. And you know what? Tip of the hat to Mario Heron producing today. He gets in early. We're wusses. We stayed home today.
Yep.
And I'm sure when Mario left this morning, it was showing a real feel of like -20. Can you confirm, Mario? Did you even look at the weather when you left your apartment this morning?
Didn't even look, but tried to do the full walk to the office and just power through.
Oh,
it was a bad idea.
No shot.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, we dipped. But we got the steps in, fellas. We got the steps in.
There's no way.
Those some steps are not worth it, man. Like, do yourself a favor. Keep yourself safe in situations like that. All right, before the break, I was telling you I've got the Bears, the member of the Bears organization that I think is under the most pressure this offseason, and it is George McCaskey. Because when we talk about moving this thing forward and creating a window of sustainability, a lot of it's going to come down to what are you willing to swallow cap-wise? And it's part of why I think a lot of football fans really respect what Jeffrey Lurie has done, because he is willing to restructure a lot of deals, and a lot of that falls on ownership.
Yep.
Players are usually pretty appetizing towards restructuring deals because it does benefit them. It moves around some guaranteed money for them. And this is when you become an adult type of franchise. And I think they're moving in that direction. Hiring Kevin Warren, say what you want about the stadium, but what he's done from the football side of things, I think Kevin Warren deserves a lot of credit. The stadium has been an abject failure, no doubt about that. But from the football side of things, what Kevin Warren has brought to this organization, I think deserves a lot of credit. Bringing Ben Johnson in is moving yourself in the right direction as a football franchise and bringing yourself into adulthood as a football franchise. Now, when I talk about the next step for the Bears is creating this window of competition, which is already open, by the way. You did that when you won the NFC North this year and when you made the playoffs this year. But the next step is going to be spending money that maybe makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable so that you can renegotiate some of these contracts and clear some cap space for this year and make this a winning window for the Bears so you can bring in help on the defensive line, so you can bring in help in the secondary, so you can bring in extra help where it may be needed in the running back room or along the offensive line, because you've got a window that can be fleeting. And you're doing this right now before you pay Caleb Williams. The tough part, and when the pressure comes onto Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson in terms of molding this roster, really comes when Caleb Williams gets paid. That's when you up the ante on those two individuals. But for here and right now in this offseason, it's George McCaskey.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I just think it's Kevin Warren, and I do lean more towards the stadium side of things because it's got to get done. You got to get a deal done. The guy's been telling us for 2 years now that there was going to be a shovel in the ground in 2025. Tyler, is it 2025 anymore?
No.
Is there a shovel in the ground?
No,
is there
but
even remotely a deal?
Can we agree on something here? We know that, I think both you and I agree, Ben Johnson is not the head coach of the Bears if Kevin Warren's not here. Can we agree on that?
Maybe.
I mean, come on. They were flying Dan Quinn coach
I know.
in the back of the plane.
I know, but I also, it's hard for me to give sole credit to Kevin Warren for changing the way that the organization operates when we still don't have a stadium deal. And
okay, let's just start with the football stuff here. Okay, we'll get to the stadium.
No, I'm not doing because my whole point of Kevin Warren being under pressure is the stadium deal.
But this is what I would say. Would you take Ben Johnson and no stadium deal getting done, or no Ben Johnson? Pick your wild card coach. It's probably a guy who doesn't cost nearly as much as Ben Johnson, and we already have shovels in the ground in Arlington or in the South Lot, wherever.
But it doesn't matter because we're talking about pressure now. I get what you're saying, and we can live in I'm fine. Kevin Warren got Ben Johnson here, so it's cool. He's still under pressure right now because the job he was hired to do was find a site and build a stadium, and he hasn't done it. At any level, it just hasn't gotten done. I'm not the guy who said there has to be a shovel in the ground by 2025. That was Kevin Warren. He never had to say it. He could have said, I'm overwhelmed. I can't get this done. I didn't realize what the government looks like. He didn't say that. He said, shovels in the ground in 2025. It's 2026, and we're looking at Northwest Indiana. You are entering a phase of your football ops where we can't have negative, distracting stories anymore. Nobody wants to hear the sob story about the stadium anymore. Get a shovel in the ground wherever it is. I don't want to hear about property taxes anymore. I don't want to hear about the deal that you have from Indiana. I don't want to hear about the states not playing nice with us. I don't want to hear about meetings with the mayor. Get an effing shovel in the ground. You said 2025. We didn't. And I also have the concern, this is where it pivots a little bit to ownership, is, look, man, Oakland, when they moved, whether you want to say Oakland and the Bears are different things, when they moved and they were funding a stadium in Vegas, they had to move on from Khalil Mack because they couldn't put the money in an escrow account. If you start having to worry about cash payments on a stadium build, it makes it a little more difficult to do the restructures and the signing bonus conversions to get your cap sheet freed up. So Kevin Warren's got to find a deal that works for football and that works for the Bears. That's the ultimate pressure to me.
Now, I will say the one difference between then when Oakland/Vegas was doing this and now is this private equity stuff. There is a chance and there is an avenue where the Bears can allow private equity to pour up to 10% of what their valuation is. And have we gotten a Bears valuation? I'm trying to remember if they were valued. I want to say I remember seeing something that it was around $10 billion. Either way, we know that the Eagles are $8 billion. The Bears are definitely worth more than the Eagles. You're probably talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion can be infused into this organization if they so choose. That was not an option for Vegas back then. So that's one difference here. And I would just say this. This is where you and I differ on this. I don't give a rat's ass about the stadium whatsoever. If it gets built, if it doesn't get built, I do not care. If it gets built, great. All right. If it doesn't get built, I won't lose sleep over it. Will it be a failure on Kevin Warren and the project that he was brought in to do? Yeah, absolutely. And I'll call it what it is. It will be a failure on Kevin Warren. But for me personally, I do not care whether or not a stadium gets built.
Well, I'm not even saying that I care. I'm not going build a stadium now or you suck. That's not what I'm doing either. It's just he told us it was going to be 2025, and it isn't. And he didn't have to say that. He has failed to deliver on what he promised to deliver, and then there's these constant emails out to season ticket holders. That's the other thing that kills me. We can't find funding for this. You don't have problems raising ticket prices. So, it just, to me, there is a level, fans will put up with this when the football is good, but the football better stay good, because if it doesn't, then the target's going to shift onto what the hell's going on with this stadium.
Yeah. All right, when we come back, we got a pair of conference championship games coming up on Sunday. We will preview those for you. We've got the Patriots and the Broncos, Seahawks and Rams. Both should be great games, and both of them have little intriguing twists to them as well. We'll preview both of those games when we come back. Tyler and Shea.
This is Tyler and Shea. Tyler and Shea.
I know you're going to dig this.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
You wouldn't hire an electrician to read a radio ad. Service Construction of Illinois. I think this wire's bad. You wouldn't hire the deck pro either.
Service Construction of Illinois. Now, I would layer that with a few coats to make it smooth.
You see, I, a professional announcer, can barely change a light bulb, but I can tell you with a soothing voice that Service Construction of Illinois has the craftsmen, contractors, and specialists to do it all. Whether it's a small job or complete renovation, start at serviceconstruction.net.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie. Are you feeling sore, stiff, or just not at your best? Maybe you've been dealing with pain for months, hoping it will just go away. You deserve to feel your best. Chiro One Wellness Centers offer personalized chiropractic care to help you live pain-free. No drugs, no surgery. Too many of us think pain is just part of getting older, but that's not true. Visit Chiro1.com today. They have locations across Chicagoland, including Glenview, Wheeling, and Libertyville. That's Chiro1.com, and let them know that Sylvie sent ya.
Make your game day a winner with Aurelio's Pizza, Chicagoland's oldest pizza chain since 1959. This is Joe Aurelio inviting you to indulge in our crispy thin crust, signature sauce, 100% real mozzarella, and your favorite premium toppings like our fresh ground Italian sausage. Dine in, carry out, or have it delivered. Visit AureliosPizza.com for the location nearest you. Download the Aurelio's app and start earning rewards today. Aurelio's Pizza. It's a sauce.
Attention Link EBT card holders. If you use SNAP benefits to buy food, please listen carefully. Rules for SNAP eligibility are changing. You could lose your benefits if you don't act soon. Before January 31st, visit saveoursnap.org to learn about new rules, how they impact you, and the steps you should take to keep your food benefits. Go to saveoursnap.org before January 31st. Sponsored by the Illinois Commission to End Hunger. Aired in cooperation with this station and the Illinois Broadcasters Association.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Tyler and Shea, hour two with you. Still got to get to the latest in college football. Playoffs going to stay at 12 teams. We will discuss that and what tweaks can be made, including a good proposition that both you and I saw earlier this week. We'll do that in just a little bit. But let's start with the NFL this hour because we've got a pair of conference championship games on deck. Now, it's funny because on the NFC side of things, we could have all seen this coming from a mile away. I think both you and I going into this said these were the two best teams in the NFC. Seahawks, Rams, you can take your pick of who you thought were better. We saw how the final game played out between the two teams in, I believe that was week 17 on that Thursday night, may have been week 16. Wild game, and if we get anything like that in the NFC title game, it's going to be a lot of fun because these two teams, I think, match each other really well. They're as balanced as you will find in football. You've got great offenses on one side, and you've got great defenses on the other side. Now, I think they do it differently. I think the great offense on the Rams side is because there's just so much damn talent on that team. Yeah. And it helps when you've got the brain power calling the plays in Sean McVay. On the Seahawks side, there's talent there. There's no doubting that. I mean, you got JSN. Call Sam Darnold what it is. Over the course of the last 2 years, he has been a very good quarterback in this league. I think A.J. Barner's been a really good piece for them at tight end, too. There's talent there, but not nearly what we're talking about on the Rams side. But there is an element of Clint Kubiak coming in, powering up this offense, and getting the most out of guys. I think that is certainly happening on that Seattle side. On the flip side, I look at that defense, and you've almost got the Sean McVay equivalent calling defense for that Seattle team with Mike Macdonald. He's like the forgotten coach of the year candidate this year. Those all the award candidates came out this year. Mike Macdonald, what he is doing in year 1 and year 2, they were 9-8 or 10-7 last year?
They were 10-7 last year, but they missed the playoffs. Yeah,
missed the playoffs. And then this year he spins things around, wins the NFC in regular season, wins the NFC West, and I don't think is getting quite the coach of the year buzz, because this is a team that at the beginning of the year, I believe their win total was 7.5 or maybe 8.5, and both you and I liked the under. We thought there were questions on the offensive line. We didn't know what Sam Darnold's follow-up act would be, and Mike Macdonald has turned this team into an elite offensive unit and an elite defensive unit.
Well, yeah, Mike Macdonald defensively, people are starting to call him the Sean McVay of defense. Like, people in the league are saying that. So when you start hearing that, and there's guys like Brian Flores in this league who are brilliant defensive play callers, and you hear the Sean McVay of defense going to Mike Macdonald, that tells you all you need to know about just how good this guy is. I think the X factor nobody wants to talk about, and people will remember from draft time, there was talk about this guy to the Bears. But it is, to me, Gray Zabel, the kid out of North Dakota State, the guard. They put him in this offensive line, and all offseason I said, look, their offensive line last year was horrible. One of the worst units in football. And all offseason I felt like, okay, now you're taking Sam Darnold, you're putting him outside, you're putting him behind a bad O-line. I don't know that this is the recipe. What Gray Zabel has done to me is comparable to what Quentin Nelson did for the Colts when they drafted him, where it was a terrible offensive line that added Quentin Nelson, and suddenly it was one of the best O-lines in football. The Seahawks have gotten like the Diet Coke version of that. One of the worst O-lines got revolutionized in a single season because the rookie that they brought in was so good. I think that's been a huge key to their offense being what it's been. Now, that said, since week 10, week 11, Darnold has been among the worst quarterbacks in football. So we have a season or half of a season at the start where he was the best, and then half of a season where he's among the worst. And now he's dealing with this oblique injury and wasn't asked to do a lot last week because the game went so sideways on San Francisco. I think this is the first moment we're going to get to see how much is the oblique impacting Sam Darnold.
Right. And you talk about that pass rush. It's night and day, the pass rush that he's going to face this week. When you talk about last week, you got San Francisco, one of the worst teams in the entire league at getting after quarterbacks. And now you get this Rams defensive line. Now, it is worth noting that this Rams defensive line did not get to Caleb Williams last week. That's not to say they didn't have an impact. They were living in the backfield on certain plays, specifically in the run game. And if you can limit what this LA run game is, it helps, but it doesn't take away the fact that you've got to deal with Puka Nacua on one side and Devontae Adams on the other side and Colby Parkinson and what he brings to the table. Jordan Whittington has had his moments in the playoffs too. Like, I still think that this Rams offense can just overwhelm you on every dimension. And I think back to I cannot get the number out of my head. And you've brought it up a number of times when we've talked, whether it's on this show, whether it's on the Pick a Side podcast, which you can get wherever you get your podcasts, including the ESPN Chicago app.
Good plug.
But it's 580 yards of offense against a defense that is widely considered the best in the league on the road. And you rolled that number out on this team. It's really an astonishing number when you think about it, because the way that this Seahawks team has thrived all year long is the defense gets to a point where they can pin their ears back and get after a quarterback, and the offense does enough. And I still think it's a pretty good offense. There's weapons to be had, but losing Zach Charbonnet certainly hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Kenneth Walker's the starting running back, Zach Charbonnet's been the better back this year for the Seahawks team, especially when we're talking about red zone stuff. So it is something that I can't get that number out of my head, and it's why I like the Rams so much this week. Because while they're probably not going to replicate 580, can you give me 450 or 480? And if you do that, I feel pretty good about you winning the game.
It's just what I can, and maybe I'm going to be played the fool here, and I'm just going to buy into something because I was biased towards the Rams. They were my preseason Super Bowl pick. So it's kind of a stick to my guns moment here where they're in the NFC title. It'd be really embarrassing to get off the bandwagon now. You know what I mean? Like of all times. So it is partially a stick with my guns thing. It is a little bit of a bias. It is, frankly, Zach Charbonnet being out. I think they're going to miss Zach Charbonnet this weekend, the Seahawks. But it's also, I watched that entire Prime game, and I know that most people who watched it will just return everything. The return volley to everything I'm going to say is, yeah, but they lost. Which, like, that's fine, but I am always somebody who, if you start marrying yourself to the result of things without any nuance on how it happened, and that's how you try to predict what will happen, you can get yourself in trouble, especially if you're betting money on it, for example, now that everybody's gambling. I watched that game, man, and it was a 30-14 lead, and it was going to the fourth quarter, and it was genuinely turn off the TV, let's go to bed territory. Seahawks had nothing. And then they got the Shaheed punt return touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and everything flipped because immediately it became a one-score game. But if you're banking on flipping a game like that off of a punt return touchdown, and remember the first time these two teams played, what was the final score, 21-20?
I think it was like 23-21, but yeah.
Something very close.
Yeah.
The Seahawks came back in that game, too. They were down a ton and stormed back. In the second game, they were down a ton and stormed back. I get, like, do you like that the Seahawks won the game, that it's going to be played in their house? I don't love team needed miracle twice to make it close once and win the second time. I'll take the team that was in control of the vast majority of the two games that were played, which is why I like what the Rams were able to do offensively, and I get their defense. Look, it's a great pass rush. It's not a great defense. In fact, it might be a bad defense with a great pass rush. They've rattled Darnold twice. Both games I've watched, Darnold has been actually rattled by what the Rams throw at him defensively. So I buy into that a little bit.
Yeah, and when you look at what the Rams have done offensively, I mean, they keep Matt Stafford upright against this Seattle team too. Now, this is the stat that's been thrown out all week, and it's something that I think there's credence to. But with a veteran team like the Rams, a been there, done that, tried and true team, I don't think it matters as much. The Rams are going to be playing their 7th road game in the last 9 weeks. I think that's an important stat. I just don't know how much I necessarily buy into it when you are as healthy as you are on the LA side of things. It'd be one thing like what was happening with San Francisco. San Francisco was probably in a similar situation, maybe not road-wise, but in terms of just catching the shaft on these short weeks that they had to deal with. Playing on Saturdays when they were playing Sunday nights the week before, playing on Saturdays on these short weeks and going up against teams that had a significant rest advantage. I get that. That catches up to you when you've had San Francisco's bill of health this season. When you've got what LA's got and you really haven't dealt with any detrimental injuries over the course of the season, to me, it doesn't make as big of a difference. Now, that's not to say LA's not banged up. Every NFL team's banged up, especially when you're playing conference championship weekend and you didn't have the bye week as the 1 seed. However, I look at this LA team as, like, Stafford's been banged up before. Him playing injured is nothing new. He can still go out there and get it done. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, like, those guys are studs. Those guys are guys you can bank on, rely on week in and week out. That offensive line has done a pretty good job of keeping everything held together for this Rams offense. And when you need to, you can lean on that run game. You've got a couple of really good backs with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum that can get this thing going. And then when you work that in tandem with the play calling and the protection that you get up front and the run grading that you get to do with those offensive linemen, I think it all works in concert with each other. And that's why this Rams team has been, for my money, they may not have the best record in the NFL right now, but they've been the best team in the NFL this season.
The biggest question I have, honestly, and it'll sound crazy, but the biggest question mark I have with the Rams is Sean McVay. I respect the hell out of McVay. I think he's excellent, but he's also very capable of putting together a totally head-scratching game plan in a big spot.
He did it last week.
He did it last week against the Bears. Very famously did it in a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. I still can't figure out what the hell they were trying to do that entire game against New England. There's been playoff spots throughout his career where, look, McVay will also take the conservative and some might say cowardly approach late in close games that ends up biting him in the ass. It almost did last week when you're sitting there third down and Ben Johnson just took a timeout and McVay, somebody help me, why did he run the football? You can just try in earnest to get a first down, and even if you don't, by passing the ball, you're going to kill the 2-minute warning on the punt. There is never any reason to run the ball there. He played directly into Ben Johnson's hand. So I just thought it was bizarre, the game plan. And if you're asking me, like, who am I more confident going to put together an elite game plan this weekend? Is it crazy if I say the answer is Mike Macdonald?
Well, okay,
in part because I think scheming defense is a different deal, too. Like, when you have dudes on your defense, you have all the toys to play with. I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier.
Here's why I would push back on it, is because this is a divisional matchup where you're facing a team a third time.
Fair.
And it's, frankly, like, it's a team that you see 2 times a year, every single year. Sean McVay and Mike Macdonald went head-to-head last year twice a year as well. So I think that when there's that familiarity aspect between the two teams, I don't think you're really gaining much of a significant game plan advantage when you're talking about teams that have this familiarity aspect. Probably and true. 2 coaches that both you and I think are elite at what they do. Now, the difference is not even execution, but more of the how do you manage the game? And that 3rd and 10 that you bring up with what Sean McVay decided not to do against the Bears, that's a prime example of it. If he makes that same mistake again, it could end up biting him. And frankly, should have bitten him in the ass in this game against the Bears last week.
Well, they're just going to need perfect special teams, which they haven't gotten all year.
They did last week. They had some pretty damn good special teams, aside from like one short punt. But
it's just
good luck punting in those conditions.
It's part of the reason why Seattle was able to come back the first time these two teams played. It is the reason Seattle won the second time these two teams played. So special teams can't be the reason you lose a game.
For sure. All right, when we come back, we will get into the AFC side of things. Broncos, Patriots, a backup quarterback at the helm for Denver. How much is it going to matter? That's next on Tyler and Shea.
This is Tyler and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago. Sometimes the conversation can get away from the team on ESPN Chicago's Cap and J Hood Show. Fortunately, there's always room for a sidebar.
Just a quick sidebar, may I approach?
Sidebars on the Cap and J Hood Show are presented by Ankin Law.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
Attention basketball fans, the DePaul basketball season is here, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Blue Demons live as they take on some of the top teams in the country. There's no better place to experience a game than Wintrust Arena, home of the DePaul Blue Demons. Get your tickets today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets and be part of the action. That's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Go Blue Demons!
Hey guys, it's Courtney Cronin. Picture this. She opens the box. The light catches the shine inside, but what you really see is her smile. That's the winning moment. That's what Rogers & Hollins delivers. Not just a ring or a necklace or a watch, a moment. A story she'll share every time someone compliments her. For 115 years, Rogers & Hollins has been the jeweler Chicagoland trusts. Because while the world changes, the power of giving jewelry never does. Visit your local Rogers & Hollins or go to ForNowAndForever.com.
The Menards 15% off bag sale is here. Whether you pack it, load it, stuff it, or stack it, if it fits in the bag, you save 15%. Need new tools? Updating your bath or faucet? Or simply want some snacks? Put them in the bag and save 15%. So pick up a bag in-store at Menards and find out how much you can fit in the bag. Now through January 24th. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Miss anything on today's show, you can check it out on the Side Podcast, wherever you get podcasts, including on the ESPN Chicago app. Tyler Rocky with Shea Norling here on ESPN Chicago. You want to tweet the show, you can find us at Tyler Rocky _ and at Shea Norling on Twitter. You can also join in the comments section of YouTube and Twitch. Just search for ESPN Chicago on both outlets. All right, let's get into the AFC side here as we talk NFL playoffs with you, conference championship weekend. Damn, man, only 3 of these games left as we continue to wind down the NFL season. Felt like just yesterday we were doing division previews, getting ready for the NFL season. But here we are as we've got the first of the 2 championship games, 2 o'clock on CBS. You've got the Patriots going into Denver, going into altitude, a place where they've never won a playoff game before, and going on against, you've got an MVP candidate that you've got on your side playing quarterback. On the flip side, it was one of the great shockers of the early 2026 calendar in sports was when we found out that Bo Nix has an ankle injury and is going to be done for the rest of the playoffs. We got that after the game, and everyone thought they were getting punked. Bo Nix finished the game, and now all of a sudden it's Jared Stidham that's going to be under center this week.
Yeah, and I don't think a whole lot changes. I certainly don't think as much changes as the point spread would indicate. It opened at 1.5. It got to 5.5 with the Bo Nix news. It's been bet down to 4, which I think is the market telling you we don't really buy that Bo Nix was worth 7 points against the number. I also just think, if you're honest about what the Patriots have been in the playoffs, it's a little 2021 Bengals-ish, and I get that team went to the Super Bowl, but it's down to down. They have been bad in the playoffs. They have not really had a good game yet. The Charger game was gross. It was the one good drive at the end. There were a couple good drives in the Texans game, but for the most part, that was more about the Patriots' defense and also C.J. Stroud than it was about the Patriots playing some good game. And now you go up against another great pass rush. You're going on the road. You're going to altitude. I don't really care if it's Bo Nix or Jarrett Stidham. How are the Patriots scoring a bunch of points?
Now, in fairness, we have to be fair when we talk about what Drake May has done in the playoffs. While the down-to-down stuff has not been good, the explosive stuff has. Yeah. And that's a credit to him and his receivers. However, I don't know if you're going to get that type of time against this Denver team that led the league in sacks this year. They've got guys like Zach Allen and Nick Bonito, and the way that defense works in concert with each other. I mean, Vance Joseph has done a tremendous job with this unit. We're talking about some really good defensive coordinators in this playoff that are calling some of these games. And I don't know if you're going to be able to turn the trick again on the heels of what you did. I mean, they've gone up against good defensive lines all postseason long, and I don't know if you're going to be able to get away with doing this and not having the down-to-down type of success against the gauntlet of the Chargers, the Texans, and now the Broncos. It's kind of the same reason why I felt skeptical of the Bills getting far in the playoffs, because I didn't think they could go up against the gauntlet of what I perceived at the time was going to be the Jaguars, the Broncos, and then the Texans. I didn't think they were going to be able to handle that. And it's kind of how I feel about Drake May and this Patriots offense as we sit in the AFC title game.
It's got a lot less to do with May than, for me, Will Campbell up front, who's been just straight up bad.
I mean, the whole offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line is not good. Will Campbell, when he's asked to block solo sets like a true pass set, especially in the playoffs, he's been bad. He's gotten bullied off the ball. Part of that is you're playing great pass rushers, but that doesn't change this weekend. Like tomorrow, it's another great pass rush experience for a young offensive line that's not very good. And I just question, you start going at altitude, are you really going to go 6 O-linemen all day? The second half against Houston, that's all they did. They plugged a 6th offensive lineman in there. Things got a little bit better. But if you go six offensive linemen all day, you're going to have tired offensive linemen. And if you ever have to, they're going to have to start doing quick stuff if you're in a position where you got to help Will Campbell on the outside and you're giving up interior pressures. And if they start having to do quick stuff in altitude, I think it clips what Drake May is. You brought it up. The explosives have been his game. He might already have one of the 2 or 3 best deep balls in football as a second-year player. Mm-hmm. But if you have to go quick game and you're running a bunch of screens and get the ball out fast because we can't deal with this pass rush and the altitude's playing a factor, I think it takes away what the best part of Drake May's game is. And that's also not a place I want to live as an offense.
Yeah, and one team practices in it, the other team doesn't. And there's no way to simulate this aside from
This is
going
Tyler
out
and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN.
So I don't know what what the plan is here. Are we on? I don't know. Are we on? Are we good, Mario? All good back at the shop? All right. No, but as we were talking about what's been taking place with the Patriots and I just don't know if there is a way to practice.
What the fuck just happened?
Well, let's dump that, boys.
Yeah. Close our mics back there. All right. Let's reset. Let's gather ourselves here. All right. We're having a good time here. It's cold for everyone outside. All right. Where were we? We were talking a little Patriots and a little bit of Broncos here.
Oh, man.
So,
Patriots Broncos. Drake May going to be under pressure.
Yeah, going to be under pressure. Can they survive the altitude and everything like that? I'm looking at this game here, and I think with kind of like what we talked about with the Rams, and we heard a lot of people talk about this last week too. With the Rams going into Chicago, how are they going to deal with the elements? And for them to, the Rams weren't at their best in Chicago. There's no doubting that. They clearly were compromised by the weather. Now, it was still good enough for them to overcome all of that and find their way into the title game and win the game. But I still look at this. I think this is a different one when you're getting tired as opposed to if you're playing cold and trying to cut through the wind. When you're playing tired, that's when those third and fourth quarters really matter. And it's something that we've heard Sean Payton talk about. I think it was at halftime of last game when they were doing the sideline interview with him. And it was actually one of the first few insightful nuggets that we've had from one of those sideline interviews. And it was this is where the bye week matters. It's because we're fresh and they're playing in altitude. And I think that still translates here, even though we're 2 weeks removed from the bye week. It still translates that you had a week to kind of get your legs under you, and now you go up against a team in the Patriots who, even though they won the NFC East, I don't think are as good as the Buffalo Bills, and certainly don't pose the same offensive challenges.
Yeah, and I think it's lazy to just go, it's the easiest schedule in 30 years. But it does, that factors into the nuance. And, yeah, you can say devil magic's at work here because they got, like, C.J. Stroud being horrible. And the first game was like a nothing. The pathway has been remarkably easy, and now they don't even have to face Bo Nix. They get their old friend Jarrett Stidham. But I don't know, man. A lot of smart people, a lot of articles that I've read this week, people feel the same way I do, where this is not some cakewalk. The Patriots are going to have their work cut out for them even without Bo Nix, and the Broncos are live to win in large part because of the altitude, the fact the Patriots have never won there. Nobody's interested in betting Denver. If you look at the ticket data, everybody's betting the Patriots, public-wise. So then everywhere I read, and all the people I listen to or whatever, they're all saying we're betting the Broncos. This is either the all-time brilliant spot for guys like us who are getting cute and going, it's Denver, or we're all going to look like idiots when good quarterback creams bad quarterback.
Yeah. It's one of the scary places to live in terms of gambling is when you are flying in the face with a backup quarterback. Mm-hmm. And when you're right, you feel like a genius. But when you're wrong, you feel like the world's biggest idiot. Like, how could I have never seen that come?
This is us betting Mac Jones with the Jaguars last year.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And it was like, we're real life betting Mac Jones.
This is a little bit different because Mac Jones at least had recent data points of being an NFL quarterback and was drafted in the first round and was drafted to be a starting quarterback. We can't say any of that stuff about Jarrett Stidham. There are not many recent data points of him being a quarterback. He was not drafted to be a starter. He was not drafted really even to be a backup.
All we really have to look at, and listen, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but I'll take it at face value for the most part, is Sean Payton is not talking like a guy who is remotely uncomfortable with who his quarterback is going to be this weekend.
And let's not forget either, like, they had Zach Wilson in their building, and Zach Wilson, we can talk about his warts as an NFL quarterback. Again, there's a reason he's a backup now. But there's a reason they chose Stidham over Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson was a guy who once upon a time was a top pick in the NFL draft, was a first-rounder, was drafted to be a guy who would change the fate of a franchise. And now you're going to a guy in Stidham who, I mean, I guess quasi-revenge game, right? Like, wasn't he behind, what was it, Cam Newton in New England or something like that? Like, this is, there's a reason they stuck with Stidham. And I'm going to trust Sean Payton on this. Frankly, I'm going to trust just about any coach and the decisions that they make in this game because you are talking about four of the best coaches in all of football right here.
Yeah, I also... Is it wrong if I say I feel like this is the playing for runner-up game? Like, I just don't see a world. I don't see a world where either of these teams end up winning the Super Bowl. One of them has to get there, but Seahawks-Rams is de facto Super Bowl to me.
The Super Bowl is going to air on NBC this year, but the real football Super Bowl is airing on Fox at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Like, that's what we're looking at. Yep, I feel the same exact way. All right, when we come back, we got to get to the latest on college football. The playoff is sticking at 12 teams, at least for the near future and this upcoming season. But one college football analyst went out there and put out his proposal of fixing the college football playoff, the schedule, the enjoyment of it all, reinvigorating the bowl games, all that. We'll talk about it coming up next.
Tyler and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago.
Just like a strong offense keeps moving the ball, Republic Bank of Chicago's business banking solutions can keep your company growing. Business checking, treasury management, commercial loans, big business, small business. Republic Bank has everything you need for your business. Our team is here to get you back in the game and moving in the right direction. Experience banking beyond expectations. Only at Republic Bank of Chicago. Member FDIC. Visit ourbankchicago.com today.
Hey guys, I get it. You'd love new windows, but you don't want to pay a fortune for them. Well, January's a great time of year thanks to Window Nation. Right now, they're more affordable during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 Windows free sale. Plus, you can get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. If you're feeling cold drafts from your windows, seeing fog or mold around the frame, or paying a lot more for your heat than your neighbors, it's time for new windows. Do not wait. Put an end to your window problems. Visit windownation.com now.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You still thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy. IT? Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI. That's what I did. Really? How? Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up. Sweet. Are classes online or on campus? Both. Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
My name is Whitney Allen. I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your team made mistakes and the season's done, but now they can be better next year. You want a story about learning from mistakes? Come to Aurora's Paramount Theater and see Dear Evan Hansen, the 6-time Tony Award-winning Broadway hit. It's a powerful story with powerful songs, and Paramount Theater is always a can't-lose night out.
Dear Evan Hansen.
With amazing staging and incredible talent. Go see Dear Evan Hansen. Running February 4th through March 22nd. Get tickets today at ParamountAurora.com.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norling. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
College football playoff came to a close this week. It was a good one. Great championship game. Miami right there in it. Had a chance to win at the end. Boy, we could be talking about Carson Beck in a very different light if he connects with the receiver instead of the opposition on that final drive. And then we got the news a day or two ago that the college football playoff is going to stay at 12 teams, at least for next season. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons. First of all, it seemed like we were trending towards getting to 16, if for no other reason than to stick the middle finger up at Notre Dame. Because for those who are unaware of the Notre Dame stipulation in the CFP contract, if Notre Dame is deemed one of the 12 best teams, then they get the final spot into the college football playoff. Whether or not, because remember, usually it's going to be the group of 5 champion is able to slither their way into that 12th and final spot. But the way that it's set up with the CFP and the committee and the deal that they've got with Notre Dame, there is a stipulation in there that does slide Notre Dame in if they are deemed one of the 12 best teams. So I don't want to get into fighting about Notre Dame because that's a story for another day. And it's something that I'm only going to get mad at if we see it actually come to fruition. And before we know it, this thing's going to be at 16 teams anyway. So that's going to throw that stipulation out the window. This is what is interesting now from Josh Pate, who you see on ESPN. And he came up with a 6-step plan to fix the college football playoff and its current iteration. So everything works with the portal, with the playoff itself, and the regular season, and it gets this train on the right track. And I largely like a lot of what he's doing. The feasibility of it all, I don't know if we're ever going to get there with it. But we'll walk through step by step with it. We'll address each step, and we'll give you our thoughts on those steps along the way. So step number 1 is move week 1 up to where week 0 is. So the season will start in August every single year, and you're just going to begin this thing a week earlier and kind of align it with the high school schedule of what most high schools across the country follow. To me, seems easy, seems simple, and I'm all for it. I'm not worried about this at all. I think this is an easy one to fix.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I'm fine with it. I've been saying for a long time, too, this thing has to be sped up. So the marriage to Thanksgiving weekend and rivalry weekend doesn't mean a lot to me.
Yep. All right. Next up, step number 2. Conference championship games stay, but they're played on Thanksgiving weekend. So you'll still get your Big Ten, SEC title games, all that stuff. But instead of playing them the first week of December, because you're moving the regular season up, you're going to get conference championship Saturday on the Thanksgiving weekend. So you're going to lose the shine of the game being played the Saturday after Thanksgiving. The Egg Bowl and all that stuff is going to have to change. It's going to have to move up a week to the week before Thanksgiving. To me, good with this. I like it. I have no problem with it.
Sneaky great because kids aren't on campus Thanksgiving weekend anyway for the most part. So you just
that's a good point.
You can go travel to wherever the game is.
Yep, I agree. All right, step 3 rather, and this is where things get really interesting. 6 bowls are revitalized with playoff important matchups for the same weekend as conference championships. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about this during the conference championships last week, or this past season. We were talking about creating extra games. And I think this is interesting when you put the bowl narrative with it because it creates a nostalgia aspect of making important games. And when you look at the bowl ratings from this year, the bowl ratings were through the roof. And I think if you actually attached importance to those games, you'd see those numbers even further up the scale. So what you're doing here is you take some of the teams that maybe are on the playoff bubble or are just inside or just outside, and you put them and you match them up and they play these quote-unquote bowl games. So all of a sudden, you're talking about the Cheez-It Bowl is a game that, let's take, for example, last season, you'd see Notre Dame play Vanderbilt. And you're using that game as a resume builder to try to elevate yourself into the playoff. I like it. Mm-hmm. I think it's something that's feasible. I think it would be great for the sport itself, and I think it marries the old and the new. The old is the guard of the playoff games and having, or the bowl games, and having the bowl games have importance still. And the new is it's all a part of funneling its way into the college football playoff. I like it. I really like it. This is probably one of my favorite adds to what we would see with the college football playoff structure.
I think it's smart because they're postseason games. There's no way around it. Like, these teams have earned bowl invitations, and they're going to bowl games. And, yeah, they're going to become data points to qualify teams for the CFP, but they are also obvious postseason games. They create bowl games that people will want to watch. It creates bowl games that actually mean something. I think it's a little nostalgic in that it allows for – you're not going to watch, no, you're never going to save the Military Bowl. I'll put it this way. There's, 47 bowls? There's too many bowls. Mm-hmm. You're never going to save some of these that schools just aren't going to care about. They're going to opt out of them. But what this will save is Notre Dame's not opting out of the Gator Bowl this year. You know what? That won't happen anymore.
For sure.
So I think that's a really good aspect. Like, Baylor's not opting out if this exists.
Right.
Save that.
Right, exactly. All right, step 4. And this is just really a housekeeping residual effect thing, but set and announce the CFP field on Sunday after Thanksgiving. Makes sense. You move the schedule up, that's where it's going to be. It's the same thing as if it were the Sunday after conference championships. Step 5, you got CFP first-round games on campus on the first Saturday in December. Second-round games on campus on the second Saturday in December. Now, this is where things get a little bit hairy, and I do like it, though, because, I love the fact that we do have campus playoff games. I think it's great for those teams. I think it's great for the sport. It's great to have such high-stakes games being played on campus. I also love, and this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing, I love that we're moving this thing up into the first weekend of December. There is zero reason for teams to be sitting out 3, 4, 5 weeks before they play their first playoff games. Absolutely none. So I'm happy that that's also a part of this. And then that the next playoff game is played just a week after. And I get that you're going to have to battle with the NFL a little bit on this stuff, but at the end of the day, the people who are going to watch college football are going to watch college football. I don't think you're going to kill your ratings as a result of this. Maybe you see a little bit of a dip, but I still think high stakes, important college game, you're always going to have the South, and you're always going to have the places that don't have NFL teams. And it's a playoff game. Like, I'm sorry, like a playoff game is more intriguing to me than some Saturday NFL. And maybe that's the college football fan in me, but I think it's going to take precedence in my TV viewing.
The wrench here is Army-Navy.
Yes, that's the next part I was going to get to.
It's the one thing Josh Pate didn't consider. And if there are two villains that exist towards creating a schedule that makes sense for college football, one is the Rose Bowl committee. Mm-hmm. Now, Josh Pate did an excellent job in considering them. We'll get to that when we say what he has for the national championship.
Yes.
But he absolutely took into account that the Rose Bowl committee is the single largest villain with the college football schedule. The second villain, and I'm not saying that they're villainous, I'm just saying it exists as a villain to making a schedule that makes sense.
Let's call them roadblocks and not villains.
The second Rose Bowl committee is a villain.
Okay, we'll say that.
The second roadblock is the Army-Navy game because CBS gets their island game. The whole reason is it's the only football game that's on television that day. There is no – and now that's not even true. They have a bowl game that night, but I digress. That day, that time slot, if you want to watch football, Army-Navy is your only option. That means sales on the ads are through the effing roof, and CBS loves having that solo showcase. I have long campaigned – put it preseason as a kickoff classic. So if you do week 1 moving into week 0, then add another week 0 a week before, and Army-Navy kick off the season. Yeah. I think that's the solution.
I think in a perfect world, you put that game on Black Friday, but you can't really put that game on Black Friday because if either Army or Navy are playing for their conference title game, that's where it falls apart, and you have to effectively cancel the game at that point. I think Black Friday would work, but I don't think it's something that you'll ever see happen.
No, I don't either.
So, that is one of the big hurdles, and especially when you've got executive orders from Congress getting involved here, that's when this thing kind of goes up in smoke. I think I like your idea, though. Like, open the season. You can still have yourself a week 0. It's just going to be 2 weeks before the current state of week 0 is.
It's the Army-Navy Kickoff Classic. I've been saying this for a couple years. I think it's the single best solution if you want a schedule that makes sense, is just turn Army-Navy into an every year kickoff classic week 0 game.
And it's not like at a certain point every single summer, our thirst for football hits overdrive. Yeah. And I feel like if we had a football game in late to early or to mid-August, I think that would quench that thirst, especially if it's a game with such nostalgia like Army-Navy.
I think the other problem, too, like Black Friday, the NFL plays on Black Friday now. There are classic rivalries like Nebraska-Iowa. That's a Black Friday game. Michigan State typically plays a Black Friday game that night. It used to be the Penn State game. Now it isn't because Big Ten's stupid. There are other games where CBS won't get the sweetheart deal that they want out of Army-Navy that I think you could get if you make it a preseason game.
All right, now, as we move to step 6 here, neutral site semifinal games on the 3rd Saturday in December, and the CFP title game played on New Year's Day. So you are done with the season on New Year's Day every single year.
Biggest key there is that New Year's Day is the national championship game, which means you can just give it to the Rose Bowl every year. And is there a better venue to play the national championship than the Rose Bowl?
You'd be hard-pressed to find one.
That's your way of cutting a deal with these people, if you can call them people, who have just made the sport impossible to modernize, this Rose Bowl committee and the Rose Bowl parade. If you just cut them a deal that you're going to be the Natty every year, I think we're good.
Now, here's the problem with it. I do think it can be an issue because the CFP and the Rose Bowl are largely separated entities here. The Rose Bowl is its own thing. It just lumps itself into the college football playoff. And I wonder if the college football playoff committee just gets too greedy with this. And then what happens to the Cotton Bowl and the Sugar Bowl? How do they feel that every single year it is the Rose Bowl?
We don't care. You know what? In my world, hey, Goodyear, come talk to us. We don't care. Oh, you're sad the Cotton Bowl's not a big deal? Sorry, we don't care. You don't have the power that the Rose Bowl committee has held over this sport for so long.
I'm just saying you are going to create some sort of problem with this. And it's something that you're going to have to figure out. But I like the idea of it in theory. I have no issues with it at all. And then the last step here, and maybe the most important step, is signing day and the transfer portal entry window immediately follow. So I'd imagine that signing day is probably the Wednesday after the title game, and then the portal opens up that same day.
Yep.
I like it. I really like it. Listen, there's holes in this plan. The feasibility isn't all there. But in terms of the structure and people that can kind of work to compromise this thing, I think it's a brilliant plan.
If you're going to keep the main thing, this is as good as it gets. The other option that might be more simple but makes the main thing not the main thing anymore is you divorce this sport completely from the academic calendars and just turn it into minor league football.
Yeah. All right. I like the plan. We'll see. I doubt it comes to fruition, but it's at least worth batting around with everyone. All right.
Honestly, Josh Pate's got my vote. If we're going to get a CFP commissioner, he's got my vote.
Yeah. It's going to take somebody who wants to marry the past with the present. It can't be. No, because he's too wedded in the past. But it has to be someone who's willing to marry the past and the present. I think this is the greatest compromise that you're going to find between those, because that is really what's fighting right now between the way that college football is viewed and the mess that the NCAA is in. You've got the old guard and the new guard. I think this is the beautiful marriage of the two. It's as good as you're going to find. So, All right, when we come back, I have a free agent idea for the White Sox that I want to run by you, because I think the White Sox are moving with some momentum here. They made a big relief signing yesterday, and I think they're moving with some momentum. They've had a nice offseason. I want to put to you what would be the cherry on top, and it's going to cost a little bit of money, but I think you got to do it. That's coming up next.
This is Tyler and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago. Here comes the Chicago Bears podcast. It drops daily on the ESPN Chicago app, and its rotating co-hosts make an essential pod for Bears fans. Join host Pat the Designer and company for the Chicago Bears podcast from ESPN Chicago. Your home for Chicago Bears content.
Yep. Ready for action, basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like dark mode, too. Log in to BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537, or by texting ILGAMB to 53342. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Illinois only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. In partnership with Paradise Hotel Casino.
We're here at Menards Bag Sale, asking shoppers what they're putting in the bag to get 15% off.
Paint, batteries, tools, toilet paper,
extension cords, grocery items,
hardware for my cabinets,
snack items, crackers, and some canned goods stuff.
Shop vac supplies,
toothpaste, cereal, coffee, dog treats. I've got a lot of stuff to grab.
The list goes on, but the sale ends January 24th. Hurry in for Menards 15% off bag sale. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Guests on ESPN Chicago call in on the Yuengling Hotline, where names and bold takes collide. America's oldest brewery, Yuengling, fuels the conversation. Chicago, raise a Yuengling. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hit the road in a brand new Chevy in less than 1 hour. At Advantage Chevrolet Hodgkins, you can sign and drive away in 60 minutes or less. Seriously, or they'll cover your first car payment. Every new Chevy is backed by the Advantage Plus program. Advantage Chevrolet Hodgkins. Together, let's drive.
Rich Eisen here. LinkedIn Jobs is stepping things up with their new AI assistant so you can feel confident you're finding top talent. Get this. Employees hired through LinkedIn are 30% more likely to stick around for at least a year compared to those hired through the leading competitor. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. And promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Welcome back to Tyler Rocky and Shea Norley. We're back on ESPN Chicago.
Thanks to Mario Heron for producing today's show of Tyler and Shea. And braving the cold as well. Shout out and salute to Mario for walking to work today. How many miles is that?
It's 1.5. I only made it about 10 minutes so, and then I quickly called an Uber.
Oh, so you didn't even walk the whole way?
No, I quit. I gave up like a loser.
No, it was the right call.
Man.
Yeah, smart call.
Yeah, so that you did the right thing there. Look out for yourself at a certain point. All right, real quick. I teased before the break. There is a White Sox move I want them to make.
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead. It's going to cost a little bit of money. Short-term deal here. All right, maybe even a 1-year deal. But it's a move that I think they should make. Go ahead.
All right, well, now I don't think I'm right. I was going to guess bring back Lucas Giolito.
No, that is not. I'll give you a hint. It is a position player.
Tommy Pham?
No. It is not a reunion.
All right. Well, I'm just thinking pitching or outfield. Go ahead.
It's not either, actually. It's not outfield. It is Eugenio Suarez. He's coming off a season where he hit 49 home runs. There really is no market for him right now.
No.
You look at even the teams that are eyeing him down, you're talking about low market teams like the Pirates. The Mariners who traded for him don't seem very interested in wanting him back. You may be able to get Eugenio Suarez for somewhere in the neighborhood of like 18 to 20 million a year at this point. If you sign him up for a 2-year deal, maybe even give him an opt-out in there too, you're talking about a guy who, in that bandbox that is guaranteed rate field, can pump his trade value up significantly. And you flip him at the deadline, I think it's a worthwhile move. And again, it's
flip
something
him at the deadline.
Well, who knows what the White Sox are going to look like at the deadline. And this isn't like a cornerstone type of move that you're making.
No.
Right? When this team is going to be serious about contending, Suarez is not going to be a part of the roster.
It's been a gets deal, too, to sign somebody out of value contract and free agency and then flip them at the deadline for more prospects. The one thing I'd say, though, like, this division is horrible. Mm-hmm. And I think the White Sox have had the best offseason in the Central.
Oh yeah. I don't even think it's close.
And I really, like, if you go out and get Eugenio Suarez and he's still a 30 home run hitter.
Yeah, I'm not asking for 50.
They could just mess.
But
I really feel like they could just mess around. Like, things have to go right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying as is they're ready to do it. They'd need a lot of guys to overperform expectation. But I do think there's a world where they mess around and just win the Central because it's awful.
It is a long shot, and we were looking at it yesterday. 50-1 you can get on DraftKings for the White Sox to win the Central. But I think adding in someone like Suarez, if they were willing to pump the money in, and it's not going to cost something crazy, all right? Like 18 to 20 million a year for a guy who is coming off a year where he hit 49 home runs. I'm not asking you to go spend $25-30 million on a bat. I'm only throwing this out there because I think the market could come to you. And if the market comes to you on a guy like Suarez, I think it's worth the dart throw. I don't even know if it's really a dart throw, but he's a guy who's going to be entering his year. He's going to turn 35 during the season. I would be into a move like that, and I think that would be a cherry on top move for this White Sox team and really buy a lot of goodwill with the front office and, frankly, ownership too. If you just offloaded Luis Robert, all right? But if you brought in someone like Suarez, who's been a part of some winning teams before in Arizona, in Seattle, I think that you could go out there and contend, and at least he's a guy who can help show the way to some of the younger guys on the roster.
Yeah, I think it would be a good signing, and it feels like a signing Getz has made and would make.
Now, it's a little bit higher money than what Getz has handed out, but that's obviously not a Getz decision.
If you feel like you can get off of it, then whatever. I mean,
and I think you could.
Easily.
I think you could. All right, that's going to do it for us. Peggy and Dion coming up next. We'll talk to you next week.
This is Tyler and Shea on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago.
Hey guys, it's Sylvie. Are you feeling sore, stiff, or just not at your best? Maybe you've been dealing with pain for months, hoping it will just go away. You deserve to feel your best. Chiro One Wellness Centers offer personalized chiropractic care to help you live pain-free. No drugs, no surgery. Too many of us think pain is just part of getting older, but that's not true. Visit Chiro1.com today. They have locations across Chicagoland, including Schaumburg East, West Addison, and Des Plaines. That's Chiro1.com, and let them know that Sylvie sent ya.
Hey, it's Dionne Miller, and if you're in the market or even think you should be in the market for new windows, you need to call Russ Armstrong, the Chicago window guy. For over 30 years, Russ has done things differently. He offers the most energy-efficient windows and doors at the lowest price, and they come with a lifetime guarantee. And when you call Chicago window guys like I did, you get to deal directly with Russ, and you will not be sorry. So call Chicago window guys today at 847-881-3060 or check them out for yourself at ChicagoWindowGuys.com.
ChicagoWindowGuys.com. Traffic got you down. Let the CTA be your driver. Get into the city and back fast and stress-free. Avoid the hassle of stop-and-go traffic, spending money on gas, or those unexpected costs for car repair. $5 covers your trip and back on the CTA.
Just sit back, we'll do the driving.
Tap to Pay is also available on all CTA trains and buses. Save money, do more, ride CTA.
Hey, this is Courtney Cronin. If you're injured, you want a legal representative that gets you and where you come from.
Exactly. When you call us, you're not getting some out-of-town mega firm. You're talking to Chicagoans.
That's Julio Costa of Costa Iavoni, and his partner Anthony is also here.
Thanks, Courtney. We're proud of the trust we've built here in town.
There's an immediate connection with Chicagoans. They know we'll take the time to understand what they're going through.
And then we will fight to win. At Costa Iavoni, we get you.
Costa Iavoni, your trusted local personal injury attorneys at 708-4million.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey, ladies! Get funky.
What below zero weather?
It is just fine. It's comfortable.
Peggy and Dion live in the flesh in studio.
I mean,
in studio, guys. In studio, okay?
Come rain, snow, sleet, freezing temperatures. Here we
it's
are.
So cold outside. Can we please work from home?
Not us.
I can't. No, I can't.
Let's be nice. Welcome into Peggy and Dion. Let's try to be nice.
We were shocked, though.
And,
we both walked in.
No, I was surprised.
We both walked in. We're like,
where are the boys?
Where are the boys?
It's okay.
That's all right. They're young. They get colder quicker.
Sure, that's it. Sure, that's it. Welcome into Peggy and Dion, where we are off and running. I am going to be honest, Peg.
What's wrong?
Kind of down this week.
Why?
Bears. I mean, and now, and I got to admit, it's hypocritical because after they beat Green Bay, even when they were losing that game and like coming back at the end, I think I said out loud, They can lose by 40 next week. They have to win this
You
game.
did.
And I was very adamant
you
about this is overachieving just to win this game, but you have to get this monkey off your back. Like you have to do this in this moment. And they did. But then when he hit Cole on that touchdown pass that I've watched 1,000 times, I just thought, oh gosh, here we go.
I know.
They're the team of I don't know.
Destiny.
NFC title contention. I don't know, something like that. I wasn't sure they'd go all the way to the Super Bowl, but I figured they deserved a shot at the next round.
See, I was not like heartbroken. I felt like we were left with so much to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And Yurko just kept saying to me, none of it carries over. None of it. And I'm like, no, it does carry over because your foundation is set. The culture in the building is different. The expectations are now in place. And then when Ben Johnson said the same thing that Yurko said the next day, I was like, all right, well, so goes my theory that there's so much to carry over and that, you built the first floor of your skyscraper and you actually made it to mid-level a little bit higher. You didn't reach the top, but you got a lot further along than anyone was expecting.
Yeah.
It's not like you got to tear it all down again.
Right.
So I did not feel upset.
I just because I enjoyed it, just because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed that group so much. I enjoyed having and the rhythm of it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like I love that aspect of our jobs. We say it all the time. You start covering the Bears the third week of July, and it's part of every single week until now.
It got earlier last year.
Totally.
Wasn't it the second week of July last year? It was like,
Was it that early?
Yeah.
Oh, because we had the new coach. You're
Yep.
right.
It was early.
Anyway, so I was a little I'm a little bit emotional about that. But the real issue that I've had this week, can I share this, please?
Yeah.
I've been hacked in
no.
a brutal way. This is my ABC7 Facebook page. So we have a work page and then a personal page on ABC7, or one for ABC7 and then one just for my real life. And my work page got hacked. On Sunday morning, before the game, my husband says, I think you've been hacked. So I looked at it, and it was like someone had posted a Vietnamese soap opera on my ABC7 work page in Vietnamese. And so I looked at it, and then we were covering the game. Like, I was like, whatever. So I didn't really focus on it until a couple days later. I got a text from a friend who was like, you probably know this, but you've been hacked. And then it, like, ramped up. And they posted, like, 16 videos of this foreign film, blah, blah, blah.
And this is your ABC
page?
That
I am not the administrator.
Right, I was going to say, so you have an administrator for that page.
Correct. So I sent it to them, and they were lost. And as luck would have it, I have an old intern who is now a manager with Meta and Instagram and Facebook and like whatever. So I immediately reached out to him, and he's gotten me in touch with someone to try to recover it all. In the process of that, 4 credit cards compromised with fraud.
Wait. How?
I don't know. This all happened when I updated my phone, my last Apple update.
Okay, can I tell you the exact same thing? I updated my phone, and all of a sudden, my desktop at home, it will take 20 minutes in the morning for it to turn on, for it to load. It is so ridiculously slow. And then I took my... I forgot what the other computer, the laptop one that I have. I turned that on this morning, and none of my Gmail or...
Is there?
None of them. And I was like, okay, so I have to load it all back in again. And then I'm like, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing for me. It was right after...
an update.
You don't I just have my phone set to automatic updates.
Same. Well, what was creepy is that I noticed the first charge I noticed was that Sunday morning. That Sunday morning on a MasterCard, I kept getting phone calls. So I got hacked on the work page.
This is an expense that is not.
That doesn't look like it. But I thought that was fake.
Yeah.
Like now I didn't want to answer that phone because I was afraid. So I finally called and we got that one sorted out. They shut down that card, and then it was like the debit card. They got my bank account numbers. They hooked up an Amazon wallet to it and started buying. It was crazy. It was cuckoo. And so yesterday I go to park in the garage next door where I have to pay, and I was like, I don't know how to pay. I don't have anything that works. Oh, it was so stressful.
Oh, no.
And it's so frustrating. And I called last night. I called the bank, and it's just
It's
so
awful.
violating.
It is. It's awful.
It's so violating.
It's
And
awful.
now I set up some very intense, like two-step authentication, whatever, and I can't sign into Gmail here because I don't remember what I said to do.
Oh, no.
It's so frustrating.
I know. I was going to have my desktop, someone look at it, and I said, I don't want anyone touching it because I have so much information on there. I wanted to wait until the season ended because I have all my notes. From the entire season.
Right.
And I was like, no. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. So I've been putting it off for 2 weeks. And now that you're saying this, now I'm worried that something happened with the update.
It has made me want to change every password on everything. I have all new cards coming, all new numbers of everything.
So now's the time to do Rocket Launch.
What is that?
Rocket Launch is, I think it's called Rocket Launch, right? It's that service when you don't know if you're paying multiple,
Rocket Money.
Rocket Money.
Rocket
Yeah,
Money. I
where
see
you
all the
don't-
commercials. By the way, that costs money.
It does.
It does.
But I had a friend who did it, and she saved over $1,000. They found over $1,000 in multiple payments. You know, she had a bundle that, you know, ESPN was over here with this Disney bundle. And then, oh, by the way, you're also paying for Hulu over here. And oh, by the way, you're paying for this over here. But she said, you do have to give all of your credit card numbers.
Yep.
And then she said she literally just changed all her credit cards.
She did.
Yeah. She was like, it was worth it to do it, to just clean it up and get a clean slate. You should do that.
I should do that.
You should. Why not? I mean, why not? Now's the time to do it.
Rocket Money, it's called.
Yes.
This could be a real life adventure.
I'm not advocating. I don't know.
You're just
they have a
saying
lot of commercials.
They do have a lot of commercials.
I'm telling you, I have a friend who did it, and she saved money.
Really?
Yes, especially with
because
your kids are a little bit younger. But when your kids get to be the college age, and you're paying like Uber, DoorDash, Netflix, whatever, your ESPN account, the NFL account, all this. And then they go off to college, and now you're sharing everything. And then, you know, they're on their own, and you're like, how many of these accounts do I have right now?
Well, that's the thing. I don't even know. See, so I am notorious for, yes, I'll try it for 7 days. I mean, notorious. And I'll remember.
Yeah.
In what world do I think I'm going to remember from 1 week to the next? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, I've been paying for Paramount Plus for 4
That was one of the
years,
ones-
and I have no idea. I don't watch anything on there.
That was exactly how I figured out that I was paying multiples, because I signed up for it for 1 week. It was during the Olympics, I believe, and not Olympics, Peacock. It was Peacock,
yep.
And I was like, oh, I'll just do this for the Olympics. And then I forgot that I did it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found it on another bundle, and I was like, why do I have... It's like when you start getting multiple emails, and you're like, why am I getting the same email from the Sun-Times 3 times?
Like I have two.
I'm like, do I have 2 different accounts with them?
Yes,
I do.
I do. And, you know, sometimes I notice when I'm going through, you know how you can go on your phone and find your password?
Yeah.
And it'll say password to apps. I did that this morning for something from Cash's school, for something for school, and I had multiple accounts. Well, no wonder I couldn't log in. Because I was like inverting one username with one password. I mean, I'm too old. I can't do this. Like, it's just so much.
Actually, it's so hard to take care of all of it.
It is.
But at least football's over. And if you have to, like, when I mentioned having multiple accounts for the Sun-Times, look at what I'm holding up.
There's the Sun-Times.
Aiden, do you even know what this is?
Yeah, I read the paper.
It's a newspaper.
It's a newspaper. My favorite, actually. I love the newspaper.
I have not had, this was left in the studio. It's a copy of the Sun-Times from yesterday. I've not had a newspaper, and I used to have like 3 different subscriptions. I loved sitting down with my coffee and reading through the newspaper. Now it's sitting down at a computer and reading through, right?
Yeah, of course.
But this just made me smile, because you know how many people probably have never, ever bought a newspaper?
Do you remember? I mean, Peggy, the Sunday paper was appointment time for me. Oh my gosh.
Right?
We would come home from church for years, and I would sit down with the Sunday paper and the ads and all of it.
Can I ask you a personal question about this paper?
You can ask me a personal question.
So, they have that paywall that pops up.
Yes, but it's
and
just
then you have to
read.
watch the video for 30 seconds, and then you have to click on, no thank you, take me to the video. Until you feel such guilt for not donating. Mary Mitchell tells you, she's every single day on my laptop telling me that I should be supporting local journalism. Do you actually pay?
I did for a long time. And then one of our dear friends who writes for the Sun-Times told me, you don't have to do that.
But there is nothing more annoying than having to watch the video.
I know.
And then click on it. It makes me say, screw it. I don't have time for it.
They're making it harder. Agreed. That is frustrating.
And I'm looking at this going, wow. I was like, wow, this is everything I have missed in the paper.
Same.
You just don't see this.
Speaking of multiple accounts, that happened to me with the Tribune. I couldn't log in for a while because I kept inverting, what email address did I use and what
I know.
And then I realized I had 2 accounts.
Multiple accounts for the Tribune, too. And multiple accounts for ESPN.com.
Okay, so a quick, yes. Oh, my gosh,
football.
yes.
And then it's like, wait a second, shouldn't it all be on one? Shouldn't they be the one that has to come to us and say, let's consolidate your accounts?
Because ESPN Plus and ESPN are 2 different things.
I know.
They're 2 different logins, 2 different accounts.
Annoying.
It's highly annoying. Okay, so a quick Google. Quicken actually outperforms Rocket Money. So if you want, and right now it says that they're doing it's $2.99 a month, billed annually. So I'm thinking about maybe doing it because it's just the one time, and then for the year, and then let it monitor for a year. And
this is the opportunity for you to do it.
It is
because of the situation you're in with being hacked.
Oh my gosh, it's been so frustrating. So I'm hopeful that, and then somewhere in the process of that, I logged myself out of Facebook completely because that's what I was talking to ChatGPT, and she's like, that's the first step is log out all devices because that forces that person out, whoever it is.
Yeah.
And then you have to use a different email and all stuff. So I did that, but now I can't even get into Facebook at all. And I mean, I'm literally looking at my ABC7 Facebook page, and it's like I'm a fan. It's like, you follow Dionne Miller, comment here. I was like, no, I want to delete this stuff.
Yeah.
I was finally able to, on 2 posts, I was able to delete the video. I couldn't delete the post, but I could delete the video and the foreign language. And I literally wrote, I've been hacked. I'm so sorry. And so I hope that that's what people are seeing and not more of these videos. Unless somebody said, unless you really are into Vietnamese soap operas.
Well, I mean, at least it was a soap opera and not porn.
No, right. Oh my gosh, right?
There's nothing worse when those pop
up.
and you're
awful. Twitter,
there
X,
is
whatever.
no algorithm
that I was in that
should
would
have
prompt
sent
that.
all of this to me.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
When we come back, now that the football season is over and our schedules have opened up, where in the world did Peggy see Dion and Dion see Peggy and Carmen all at the same time off work? Crazy. We'll talk about that when we come back.
This is Peggy and Dion. ESPN Chicago on FM 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000.
2 to 6 in 2026.
Waddle, waddle.
The longest running show in Chicago sports content history, Waddle and Sylvie expand to a full 4 hours. Hear them weekdays 2 to 6 p.m. We are Chicago's home for sports. ESPN Chicago.
The holidays may be over, but it is still the season of performance at Advantage Acura of Naperville. As you know, when I was on the hunt for a new car, I knew what I wanted, something luxurious but practical. So I turned to my friends at Advantage Acura of Naperville, and they made the process seamless and stress-free. I drove away in a brand new Acura MDX that is my favorite car of all times. Now, as the holidays roll past, it is still the perfect time for you to find your dream car, too. So the team there went above and beyond for me. They want to do that for you. So if you're in the market for a new car, visit Advantage Acura of Naperville today for their season of performance.
Has the excitement of betting turned into worry? Feeling overwhelmed every time you roll the dice? Problem gambling doesn't just affect your wallet. It can impact your health, relationships, and peace of mind. But there's hope. Gateway Foundation is here to help you take back control of your life with personalized treatment options. You don't have to face this alone. Call Gateway Foundation today at 844-444-5780. That's 844-444-5780.
The Menards 15% off bag sale is here. Whether you pack it, load it, stuff it, or stack it, if it fits in the bag, you save 15%. Need new tools? Updating your bath or faucet? Or simply want some snacks? Put them in the bag and save 15%. So pick up a bag in-store at Menards and find out how much you can fit in the bag. Now through January 24th. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Attention basketball fans, the DePaul basketball season is here, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Blue Demons live as they take on some of the top teams in the country. There's no better place to experience a game than Wintrust Arena, home of the DePaul Blue Demons. Get your tickets today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets and be part of the action. That's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Go Blue Demons!
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify. The post-crib assembly press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Michael, you had some trouble putting the crib together today. What went wrong?
You know, those instructions can be tough, and, well, you saw the outcome.
Were you upset when your wife pulled you and called in the backup?
No, I mean, the baby needs a crib to sleep in, so whatever it takes.
You've got a changing table to put together next. It's got a lot of drawers. What's your comment?
You know what? We're done here.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Welcome back to Peggy and Dion on 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000.
Why are you so sweaty? I was watching Cops. Did you touch my drum set?
And PCA lines one to right, and it's past the outstretched glove of Sanchez. PCA on the move, racing towards third. Are they going to send him? Here it comes! PCA to the plate, and wow! Inside the park home run, Pete Crow Armstrong. Oh, brother, can he absolutely fly?
Williams backing up, being chased, going way back now, back to his 40. Lofts a pass into the end zone. Cole Kmet caught the ball. Touchdown, left corner of the end zone. My goodness, the Iceman did it one more time. Bears are down a point, 17-16.
On the count of three, name your favorite dinosaur. Don't even think about it. Just name it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Yup.
Oh my gosh. It is the Chicago bromance we didn't know we needed. It makes me so happy. I love it so much.
You don't even see them interact.
No.
We're talking about Caleb Williams and PCA.
Yeah. Who have been spotted all over town.
Like PCA came to the last two Bears games, and he's like trailing behind Caleb. And you hear Caleb say on one piece of social, whoever was recording the video, he kind of like glanced behind him about PCA, who was kind of, just following along. And he's just like, oh, that's my Southern Cal hookup, or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was just kind of like, are they talking?
I'm sure they are.
But they don't talk. Every time they showed them at the Blackhawks game, they weren't talking to each other. They moved from the glass to when the camera was on Caleb Williams and the crowd starts going crazy the day after the season ends.
Oh, my gosh.
And the crowd was really wonderful. And to Caleb's credit, he points to the guy next to him, pan out camera, and the camera pans out to show PCA, and everyone's like, oh, it's PCA.
Yes.
Then, how did you and I figure out that we were both at the game?
I have
I saw your son.
Oh, you saw Cash. That's right. So That's right. So we were sitting when Caleb and PCA walked in. We had stood up for the anthem, and they walked in, and I hit Cash. I'm like, oh my gosh, look! So they sat like right in front of us, right on the glass there. And then
you were like 19 rows above them.
Yes, and you texted me, and you go, "Is your son at the Blackhawks game?" I was like, "Yeah, we're all here." And you said, "So am I." I'm like, what? So I'm like, look, I said, what did I text you? I think I said I just stood and waved in your general area.
I could not see you.
That was so funny.
And so I took my camera, and you were like, where are you at? And I said, section 120, like row 19. And you were in section 110 or 111 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were also like row 19 or 16, row 16. And so I was, you said, we're right above you. I said, no, you're actually across the ice from me. I go, you're above Caleb Williams and PCA. You're like in that section. And so I literally took my camera and I was zoomed in and scanning and scanning. So and I saw Ray. I saw Ray. And then I go, okay, I found them. And so you and Cash were deep into conversation, looking up at the scoreboard about something. And
then
so
you circled us.
I took a quick screenshot, and then I circled you guys and sent it to you. Oh, you're like, yeah, you got all of us.
I was like, yeah, there we are. You found us. That's so fun. It was so funny. It was such a special night.
It was really cool. That's the first time I've been back to the Blackhawks since everything that's happened with that team.
No way.
Yeah, I really did. I just kind of struggled in my own head with supporting them after everything, and then like you have to move on, and you have to do you believe that they have are contrite and have taken steps to be better, and at that point, we all want a second chance. And so I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity. Someone offered me her tickets, and so my husband and I took 2 of the kids, and when Stella saw that Caleb and PCA were on the glass, she was beside herself. Then they left, and she's like, Mom, they're gone. Where do you think they went? And I said, I'm sure they went to a suite.
Yeah.
And so they're like, yeah. Well, we were in the last row of our section, directly across the ice from where they had originally been sitting. You guys were all sitting. And we were the last row, so our heads were up against, the base of the suites, right? And at one point, Stella turns around. She goes, Mom, they're right behind us. I was like, no way.
Of course. That's
and so
great.
I just kind of turned around, and I'm like, yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
But going back to PCA and Caleb not talking, Caleb sat on one side of the suite, and PCA sat on the other.
For real?
Yes, they didn't sit together.
Funny. So and then they came back to their seats on the glass, and then they left with a couple minutes left in the game, obviously, because they want to. And Cash was, when he had been in the concourse with some of his hockey friends, when you saw him, Caleb had walked by and high-fived him and a buddy. And
really?
He was so excited about this. So then he was like, let me go out there and try it again. That was his whole vision.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll walk out there with you. I mean, it was chaos and people all over Caleb, and then behind them was his little follow dog. There's PCA just kind of walking by.
That's what is cracking me up. It is
so funny.
It really is. I love that you call him that.
But I really, I was really pleased that they were there because of the reception that Jonathan Taves got. And I think that it really, for those of us who covered the captain for 3 Stanley Cup runs, to know what it's like to be adored in this town when you win like that. I think it's very cool that they were able to experience it at that level. Because I think Jonathan was like, whoa. I don't think he expected that kind of applause.
No, and he just stayed in front of their bench, and then his teammates were
you gotta
pushing
get
him
out there.
out. After 3 minutes into this standing ovation, and he's just standing there. They're like, go. They're pointing to him to skate around.
The one video that I grabbed, what I loved was, of course, everybody was standing, but the refs were standing on the ice clapping too. It just.
They were?
Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. It was just, still gives me goosebumps. It was so special to be there for that moment. That group, that dynasty was unbelievable. And then the way they did Saturday night when they celebrated the banner years, and Eddie O was there, and they had Duncan and Seabrook and Jalmerson, and all those guys, Corey Crawford. It was one right after another. Johnny Oduya. I was like, oh man, I loved that group. They were so fun and so special.
I love what you were saying about Caleb and PCA could see how the city reacts to the beloved, winners in this town. And did you see the NFL Films angle of the anthem?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Did you where they were on Caleb almost the whole time? And Caleb is just kind of looking around, and he glances up, and he actually is so aware of that moment that he almost turned and panned the stadium at Soldier Field to take in what was happening during the anthem. And he was just had this grin on his face, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a feeling that I want every time.
Yeah.
It was so incredible. And boy, Scoop Jackson just nailed it today with his article in the Sun-Times. And I was thinking something along the same lines when I saw Caleb's Instagram post. His post a couple of days after the season ended, he said, through ups and downs, from holidays and disasters to love and hate. Sometimes you fall, sometimes you get knocked down. First, good. Second, get up. Third, prepare. Lastly, go again on the road to glory. Signed, Ice.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, he gets it.
Yeah, he
does. He gets it. He gets it. And he is exactly what Chicago needs right now. Mm-hmm. Everyone who had any questions, I'm telling you, he gets all of it.
He does.
He's not here just to make the money. He's not here just to make a Super Bowl video or, to get in free at restaurants and to get dinner comped or anything like that. He gets it. Mm-hmm. He was taking in the atmosphere at Soldier Field before kickoff. It was awesome.
It was awesome, it was unparalleled. The anthem was unparalleled. Jim Corneliuson, he had quite a 72-hour span right there.
Yeah.
From Saturday night at the UC to Sunday night at Soldier Field and then back to the UC on Monday. It was
for Taves.
Oh my gosh. It was awesome. But it got so many people's attention because NBC chose to air it, which I think is so brilliant. And and to even hear Grady Jarrett on the sidelines during the anthem.
Yes.
And who was it that they have on the Rams? Was it Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Somebody.
Yes.
He's like, I've never seen a flag that big. I mean, it covered the whole. It was such a moment.
Yep.
It was very, very cool. And I know Ben Johnson said those last two games, I'll never forget. I mean, I won't either. That the atmosphere there was unreal. I've never felt it like that. The pregame show, the fans. I've never seen the fans that engaged and hyped and I mean, so ready to keep celebrating that team.
When I mentioned Scoop Jackson's column in the Sun-Times, let's talk about this when we come back, because by showing the anthem, by NBC showing the anthem, which they never do anymore because they sell all that commercial time, are the Bears the up-and-coming America's team? Have they actually changed people's minds about them? Because the ratings sure would say so.
Yeah, they would.
Let's talk about that when we come back.
Peggy and Dion on Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
ESPN's The Hockey Show. Ready to rock the rinks with Chicago's best hockey knowledge. Brought to you by Chevy Drive Chicago. The Hockey Show, Wednesday night at 6 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
You've heard their name around town, Costa Iavoni. And I'm talking with personal injury attorneys Julio Costa and Anthony Iavoni. You guys have built a serious rep in Chicago. What's the playbook?
We grew up here. Southside baseball games in the summer.
Football battles on Sundays in the fall.
We know the city, and we fight hard for the people in it.
Exactly. We recognize that our clients are the same people we see in the stands with us at those games.
That's what being local is all about. We get you.
Costa Iavoni, your local personal injury lawyers at 708-4million.
When it comes to your home, why juggle a dozen different contractors? Service Construction of Illinois does it all. Kitchens, bathrooms, basements, decks, outdoor spaces, you name it, they build it. For 50 years, they've been the one-stop shop for families across Chicagoland, combining craftsmanship, reliability, and a true passion for making homes shine. Work with Service Construction of Illinois once, and you'll know. You can rely on them for any needs for the lifetime of your home. Visit serviceconstruction.net and start your project today.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you use a Link EBT card to buy food? Please listen carefully. You could lose your benefits if you don't act soon. Before January 31st, visit saveoursnap.org to learn about new rules, how they impact you, and the steps you need to take to keep your food benefits. Don't wait. Go to saveoursnap.org today. That's saveoursnap.org before January 31st. Sponsored by the Illinois Commission to End Hunger. Aired in cooperation with this station and the Illinois Broadcasters Association.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344. 800-568-3344.
Follow ESPN 1000 Chicago on twitch.tv or the Twitch app. Welcome back to Peggy and Dion.
On Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
And then I want to thank our fans. As Coach said, I'll never forget those playoff games, the games at the end of the season. They brought it. I had never seen Soldier Field like that before. I can't wait to get back to that point. I had family members flying in O'Hare texting me saying I've never seen anything like this in terms of the amount of pride that our fans had wearing their Bears gear, pumped up about the upcoming game. We felt that, and that's part of a job that we don't talk about a lot. It's just inspiring a fan base, inspiring the community, bringing that joy and that fun to a community because of the football team and how they're doing.
Welcome back to Peggy and Dion as we continue this afternoon. He was right. He's right. It's been amazing to see Bears fans come out of the woodwork. It's been fun for me to, I mean, I'm sure this happens to everybody in our business, but never have so many of my friends around the country been watching the Bears. And the amount of text messages that would come in after a win was like unbelievable.
During the game
so fun.
last week, I got a text message from someone from Callaway Golf who I did something with them business last year. Literally texted me during the game, "You must be going crazy right now with this team." And I was like, here they are, across the country. But this is what happens when you are on national TV. NBC Sports most watched NFL divisional playoff audience on record, average of 45 million.
That's
45 million across all their platforms. The Chicago market obviously was number one with a 34.7, a local rating of 66. I remember when I was at Channel 5, we were aiming for local ratings of 18.
Right.
ABC would always have like a rating between like 24 and 30. 66 local rating. The LA market
unbelievable
was less than half of that. But I love looking at the other markets that Milwaukee was the number 2 market.
I found that so fascinating.
And Fort Myers is number 3. And the reason is that's the Naples area.
Yeah.
That is Chicago South.
No kidding.
That whole area of Florida.
I would have also thought corner of Arizona would also have a lot.
It's crazy. Fort Myers, Bonita, Naples, Marco Island, that whole area literally is Chicago and big pockets of Wisconsin people that go there as well. I found it fascinating. And then Minneapolis and Kansas City and Detroit, like those were your top markets. It was, so yeah. So when Scoop asks, are the Bears?
I also saw that Caleb Williams' jersey is, I think, the 6th most popular in the league in his 2nd year. I mean, they've certainly become the fun team to tune into.
Yeah.
And what is still remarkable is that I don't feel like they got discussed enough in the postseason.
Right.
I don't feel like the mothership was talking about them as much as they could have been. I didn't feel like.
Well, because no one really, really believed.
Right.
No
Except
one
them.
really, really believed.
Except them.
Yeah. But boy, you can't pay the kind of marketing that they got with those national games.
You can't. You can't
in
buy
the playoffs.
that. You can't buy that.
It was so incredible.
And it's an interesting question because
are they becoming America's team?
I mean, Caleb is that guy that everybody looks to, right? Everybody wants to hear what he has to say. And I thought it was interesting when
but people also love to hate him.
Oh, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like, either way, that's why he's so... Yep. Why everyone wants to hear what he has to say, because it is polarizing, and he hears everything. But when Ben said he really became a professional this year, and he grew up, and gosh, you hear it. You hear it in the way he spoke on Monday.
Yeah.
The way he talked about processing everything on the drive home from the stadium and getting through those moments. You hear that maturity coming for him, from him. And his leadership in the locker room is different now.
Yeah. It's really...
I mean, even PCA is following him around. Like, everyone wants to follow him around.
I know. It's going to make this offseason very, very interesting. We should talk a little bit about what is going on right now. Let's start with the assistant coaches.
Yeah.
One of Ben Johnson's teammates from college, Will Lawing, is joining the Bears staff.
Oh.
He worked as the tight ends coach at Boston College, offensive assistant and defensive quality control coach during his career. He followed Boston College head coach Bill O'Brien from Penn State to the Houston Texans, then to Alabama, then the Patriots, and then Boston College last season. And at their press conference last week at BC, they announced that he would be leaving as a coach and joining Ben Johnson's staff. They just don't know in what capacity. So,
can he coach running backs?
Well, that's the question.
Now, right?
I mean, he was tight ends. He was an offensive assistant. So is that what Ben Johnson has in mind for him now that Eric Bieniemy has taken the Kansas City job? And by the way, Matt Nagy is not officially gone.
He's still employed.
Well, he hasn't been offered or accepted any other job, and they sure quickly went and filled his job, which tells me if he doesn't get hired, he's going to go back as quarterbacks coach.
I believe that's what I like to call a quiet firing.
Yes, it is.
Because the Kansas City Chiefs posted, like, thank you, Coach Nagy. He's gone.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah.
No,
he's gone. Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, he's gone.
He doesn't have a job.
He doesn't have a job.
That's a quiet firing.
That is a
there.
quiet firing. I agree with you. I mean, you hire his replacement before he is hired anywhere else. That's a quiet firing.
I didn't realize that.
Because Patrick Mahomes posted, like, thank you for everything, made me a better player and a better man to Nagy. So yes. So he's out there.
If anyone read, I heard Carmen talking about this during the week that, Matt Nagy wants to prove himself, calling plays, blah, blah, blah. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Dan Pompei wrote something in The Athletic this season about Matt Nagy. And Nagy said he did not want to call plays.
He said yeah, thinks he would do differently if he was hired again, and that was one of them.
Yes,
yeah,
that
I agree.
he would be more of a CEO type of head coach. So I'm not sure that he does want to call plays. I think he really just wants a head job.
I think he does
that
too.
That might mean going to the college ranks.
It might. Because where would he?
He's not getting any of these head coaching jobs.
I don't think so.
I really thought he was going to go to Tennessee.
A lot of
because
people
their
thought
front
that.
office is a lot of old KC guys,
Totally.
too.
Yeah,
which is
totally.
telling that he didn't get the job.
I think so too.
Yes.
But Robert Saleh is a good coach. Like he's a leader kind of coach. I feel like he has. I mean, the Jets are a disaster, so you can't really judge everything on what's going on there. But I think he's that alpha voice, maybe a little bit stronger than Nagy. I don't know. But how many jobs are left? Right.
I mean, there were 10 at one point.
Yeah.
There's still 6, I think.
6. Okay, so I spent a good almost hour of my week listening to the Bills press conference because it was such a disaster.
Gosh, that was such a you-know-what show.
Such a fumble, mismanagement. And we've been there. Peggy, we've been there. It took me back to the Ted Phillips, did we win enough games? No. Did the quarterback play well? No. But everything else is there. I was like, oh my gosh, the crazy that people say in these moments.
I know.
It was a situation.
I got to tell you, all based on your owner seeing your quarterback
cry. And you make a decision like that? When did you make the decision? When I was in the locker room after the game. I made this decision based on what happened in Denver. Wow. Really?
Now, I will say, a contact that I have told me the Bills players love Josh Allen. Love him. And he is a true leader on the team. He is everything that you would want. So when your owner sees that this is just like Lovie Smith, you're getting back to here, but you can't win. You can't win it. That's a hard position to be in.
It is.
Because just getting to the playoffs is so hard. To get there repeatedly is so hard. To win is so hard. But because you can't get to the big game and win it, wow, that's a tough order. That's a tough order.
But then they were asked in this press conference, so whoever you hire, is it Super Bowl or bust? And they're like, well, no, we wouldn't put that on him right away. Well, wait
that's
a minute.
pretty much what you're saying.
That's pretty much what you're saying.
I know. Okay, then Al Harris interviewed with the Packers for their defensive coordinator.
We all could have seen that.
Everyone thought that was going to happen. Whether or not he actually, gets the job, we will see. He could also possibly interview with Washington. Declan Doyle is to interview with the Eagles if that has not already happened. But Declan Doyle hasn't called plays yet. No. So a lot of times when people were like, why are teams wasting their time interviewing guys that have never done this role before, like Phillip Rivers? A lot of times you're also searching. You want to hear philosophies. You want to hear what they think.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what would you do differently? And sometimes, you're doing it like, Matt Eberflus did it in his interviews for offensive coordinators in Chicago. A lot of times you're fishing. You're fishing to see what they know, how do they do things, what do they do differently that we don't do, and maybe this is someone that we keep an eye on in the future. And then you have the curious case of Ian Cunningham.
We do.
Now, he interviews for the Falcons team president job. He doesn't get it because they hire Matt Ryan. Now they call him back to officially interview with Matt Ryan, I guess, for the general manager's job, and haven't heard anything. Everyone thought that was a shoo-in. Everyone thought that was a shoo-in because Matt Ryan and Ryan Poles were roommates at Boston College. That hasn't happened. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Because he's been interviewed several off seasons.
Yes. Yes.
And it's never come to fruition.
And the latest reports were that if he did get the job in Atlanta, the Bears would not get compensatory picks in the third round because he would not be the decision maker, which to me makes no sense.
That makes no sense because it's still a promotion.
You're leaving for a promotion.
Yes. Why would he make a lateral move? He wouldn't do that. I don't think.
Yes.
So
anyone that went to Dallas, you're not making the final decisions. Jerry Jones is making the final decisions. That to me would have every opportunity for the Bears to question that and to file a grievance with the league if that were to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to take a break. I know we're late for that, but when we come back, one of the strangest, interview procedures I have ever heard going on in the NFL should come as no surprise to a team that has requested that their head coach candidates do homework, take home homework, and write essays. I cannot make this up. We'll tell you who that is when we come back.
You're listening to Peggy and Dion on Chicago's home for sports. This is ESPN 1000.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
Presented by Robinhood.
He crosses, spins, pulls up.
With Robinhood Prediction Markets, buy or sell your predictions all game long. No house odds, just you versus the market. Put your sports IQ to work. Trade every shot, block, steal, run, and moment that shifts the game. With Robinhood Prediction Markets, trade every play. Visit Robinhood.com/predict to start trading. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Save big money on your kitchen projects at Menards. We carry everything you need to turn your kitchen dreams into reality. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes with free shipping to your home. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to Menards.com for free estimates today. Plus, get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Guests on ESPN Chicago call in on the Yuengling Hotline, where names and bold takes collide. America's oldest brewery, Yuengling, fuels the conversation. Chicago, raise a Yuengling. Please enjoy responsibly.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNChicagoContests.com.
That's ESPNChicagoContests.com.
Smalls here. Life is full of choices, some big, some small. And when you choose an H&R Block Tax Pro, you're choosing the largest network of tax expertise to be in your corner. For when your big ambitions need help with the small details. For when your six figures come from 6 different places. For when your gaming stream becomes your revenue stream. For when your business's year one needs 70 years of tax know-how. At H&R Block, they've seen it all. And they're here to help you make the most out of your money for life outside the box.
Rich Eisen here. Hiring for your small business can feel like a full-time job, but LinkedIn Jobs AI Assistant takes the heavy lifting out of it. It filters applicants based on the criteria you set and suggests 25 great fit candidates daily so you can invite them to apply and keep things moving. Hire right the first time. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen, then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Then promote it to use LinkedIn Jobs' new AI Assistant, making it easier and faster to find top candidates. That's linkedin.com/Eisen to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Follow Chicago's home for sports on Instagram at ESPN_Chicago.
Okay, we're all listening.
Now back to Peggy and Dion.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Personal question, Peg.
Yeah.
Do you, excuse me,
No one's listening, don't
I know,
worry.
yes, thank you. Do you put a coat on Yao Ming when you take him out in
Yes.
the mornings? Do you think it does anything?
Well, my dog is hairless.
Oh, right.
So he doesn't have any, he's
nothing.
He only has hair.
To insulate.
And by the way, Yao Ming is my dog.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Can I butt in here real quick?
I said that like everyone knows. Sorry.
That
Did you
rocks.
see Aiden?
That rocks.
Did you see? He was like, wait, why is Yao Ming at your house?
You're going to need like 5 coats for that guy.
No doubt. He lives in their basement, Aiden.
so funny.
And I said it like so.
I know, like
casually,
everybody would know.
knows that that's the dog.
He's a Chinese crested. He's hairless, and we get our dog food on Chewy.
Okay, yeah,
we do
yeah.
Chewy. Okay, so that you don't have to keep running to get the dog food every. So we get the deliveries, and it's really cool. They send you like newsletters every week on stories that affect your dogs and stuff. And this week it was breeds, the top like 10 breeds that do not do well in cold weather. And I was like, oh, finally, we're going to see a Chinese crested. We never see Chinese cresteds in anything, and except for the ugliest dog contest. And sure enough, there was a picture,
of course,
of basically looked like our dog, Yao Ming. So yeah, he wears a coat. I have to put a coat on him,
of course,
when he goes out in the morning, and he will not take a walk in this.
Oh,
so yeah.
Boomer. We put a coat on Boomer too, mostly because we took him in to be to the groomer this week.
Yeah,
and it had been a while.
Oh, yeah,
so
mangy.
they cut it pretty short.
Yeah.
And so I put a coat on him, but I put the coat on him this morning, and I'm getting bundled up. Now, in this weather, I do wear a heated jacket under my jacket. So I'm like, literally, I look like the Michelin Man. Like I'm waddling down the street. I have so many layers on. So I put his coat on him, and he went back to bed. I went up and I put the leash on him, and he just sat there. I was like, he didn't want to go outside.
What breed is he?
He's a Cavapoo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So is he like 18 pounds?
Yes.
Okay.
20 maybe.
Yeah. So that's almost just slightly bigger than ours.
Yeah. But the look on his face was just like, please make this stop.
Oh.
And he'll like pick up one paw and hop on one because it's so cold on the ground. I feel bad.
Our dog is definitely depressed.
Yeah.
He turns around, runs right back up the stairs.
Totally.
And jumps into our bed, and he just looks at me. And now he does this where his head hangs over his bed, and he just looks at me like, why did you do this to me?
Right. No, that's exactly how Boomer looks. Exactly.
Like,
and he'll
what
lay
is going
in front
on?
of the fireplace, or he'll lay on a heated blanket. Like he doesn't move. It's so funny.
He and my husband, they're exactly the same.
Same.
Okay, so
gosh.
This absolutely killed me when I heard Tom Pelissero's report yesterday on Rich Eisen, which you can hear here on 12 to 2 here on ESPN 1000 here in Chicago. And he was talking about the assistant coaching jobs and the head coaching jobs and all the interviews going on and everything. And his report on the Browns. The Browns do a personality test on their candidates that come in for an interview, much like the personality test that the quarterbacks take at the combine. They also ask them to do homework before the interview and to bring it in for the interview.
Oh my gosh.
And after each round of interviews, they give them homework as well before you come back for the second round. And it includes writing an essay.
Oh my gosh.
Writing an essay. So I started my essay on how to screw up a franchise by Jimmy and Dee Haslam.
Oh, no doubt.
Once upon a time, not long ago, we decided to give a fully guaranteed 5-year, $230 million contract to a quarterback accused of sexual misconduct on not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but nearly 30 women. Mm-hmm. Shall I go on with my essay, team owners?
I mean...
Are you kidding me?
It's so egregious. I have been a Browns fan my entire life, and it is so difficult to be supporting this kind of nonsense.
I mean,
they
guess what? It
can't
hasn't worked.
Win games.
It hasn't worked.
What do
Change
you
this.
think about homework? How is that going to help you find the right head coach?
Let me Google Cleveland Browns. What comes up? Deshaun Watson.
I mean...
24 women filed.
And we decided
6
to
more
guarantee
after.
money.
And we gave him the first ever fully guaranteed quarterback contract.
I'm just.
That is just
ashamed. That it's embarrassing.
Right?
That's embarrassing.
Right?
Who would want to coach there? Well, Matt Nagy.
Almost everybody. Honestly, it is one of only, less than 3 dozen jobs.
I know it's still a job in the NFL.
Yep.
But it does feel very.
You want to be the guy that turns it around. They have not even met the Rooney Rule. They have not even interviewed a minority or a female, which is part of the Rooney Rule.
It
so,
is.
Who knows what they're doing?
Do you guys remember the Adam Schefter report from, this is one of the 10 different Browns head coaches in my lifetime that they were interviewing Condoleezza Rice?
Yes.
For their head
Yes.
It's just, everything's broken.
Everything's broken. Everything's broken. And everything's broken.
I know. So it will be interesting to watch to see what happens with the Bears assistant coaches. If they do leave, where they go. It did feel like, as supportive as Ben Johnson was in his postseason press conference when he said, I'm all for it. I see a lot of coordinators on my staff.
Yeah.
We have a 5-star staff. I see head coaches on my staff. But I would also like to think that they'd like to be a part of what we have going on here. There's just a little bit of that little, you better make sure it's really good. What
no
you're
doubt.
leaving for.
No doubt.
And he could say to them, I didn't leave the first time I was offered.
Correct. I did love that he said what set this group up. He's like, they all wanted to be here. And you could tell that.
Yeah.
It had to be a difficult decision for Bieniemy too.
Yeah.
To go back.
Right?
Had to be.
But at the same time, there's going to be a head coaching position that's going to open up very soon in Kansas City. And just look around the league. Mm-hmm. And when you start losing and things aren't going well, some guys just say, you know what, it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
Like Bill Cowher did in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
And I could totally see Andy Reid doing that.
I mean, how old is he?
So he had an opportunity. I think he's probably 60. 58, 60. He's got to be around there. When we come back, let's steal a little bit from Waddle and Sylvie. I'm sure they've stolen
Borrowed
stuff from us, right?
It's borrowing.
Let's borrow from them. Let's borrow Would You Rather. When we come back, we've got a couple of players that we need to talk about. Would you rather keep Kevin Byard or Jaquan Brisker? Would you rather have a left tackle in the draft with the first pick or a pass rusher? Would you rather DJ Moore or Cole Kmet? These might be the questions that they are pondering at Hallis Hall. And I know you were like,
that's just rude. That last one is just plain straight up rude.
We'll talk about it when we come back.
You're listening to Peggy and Dion
on Chicago's home for sports, ESPN Chicago.
You wouldn't hire an electrician to read a radio ad.
Service Construction of Illinois. I think this wire's bad.
You wouldn't hire the deck pro either.
Service Construction of Illinois. Now, I would layer that with a few coats to make it smooth.
You see, I, a professional announcer, can barely change a light bulb, but I can tell you with a soothing voice that Service Construction of Illinois has the craftsmen, contractors, and specialists to do it all. Whether it's a small job or complete renovation, start at serviceconstruction.net. Attention basketball fans, the DePaul basketball season is here, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to see the Blue Demons live as they take on some of the top teams in the country. There's no better place to experience a game than Wintrust Arena, home of the DePaul Blue Demons. Get your tickets today at DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets and be part of the action. That's DePaulBlueDemons.com/tickets. Go Blue Demons! Just like a strong offense keeps moving the ball, Republic Bank of Chicago's business banking solutions can keep your company growing. Business checking, treasury management, commercial loans, big business, small business. Republic Bank has everything you need for your business. Our team is here to get you back in the game and moving in the right direction. Experience banking beyond expectations. Only at Republic Bank of Chicago. Member FDIC. Visit ourbankchicago.com today.
Guys, this is Courtney Cronin. Let's be honest, most of us aren't great at saying what we feel. That's where jewelry does the talking. And nobody does it better than Rogers & Hollins, family owned since 1910. From engagement rings to stunning jewelry and watches, whether it's a gift that speaks for you or something that elevates your look, they've got it all. Jewelry says it best. Rogers & Hollins makes it last. See the Rogers & Hollins difference at a store near you or go to fornowandforever.com.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Follow ESPN 1000 Chicago on twitch.tv or the Twitch app. Welcome back to Peggy and Dion
On ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to take a step back and kind of evaluate that and put that puzzle together. It's actually 4 safeties that are not under contract for next year. So I got a lot of faith in our process that we'll do that. I think Kevin's a special player. I have no problem saying, that's a player that we would like to have back. But again, when you add the other safeties into that mix and all the other decisions we have across the roster, cap restraints, things like that, it'll be a challenge. But that's part of what we do.
There are 4 safeties among the 27 Bears who are no longer under contract heading into the offseason. That's a lot.
A lot.
There is some encouragement in my brain to the guys that aren't going into free agency, namely that offensive line. I mean, Joe Thuney's amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
I knew of him before, but never watched him like we did this season. For him to move to left tackle in like the biggest game of the season and Caleb didn't get sacked.
Right.
It's outrageous.
And to really hold Jared Verse and be like, yeah.
It's outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah. It really
but
was.
also says a lot about how they feel about Theo Benedette and like that they would rather move Joe than play him.
Well,
no?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't know like how they feel about Theo Benedict. I don't know if it's
I think they like him.
I think they were being realistic.
Yeah.
That Joe Thuney would be better. Mm-hmm. And Jordan McFadden inside at guard would be a better combination in a must-win game than Theo Benedict out on an island. And I don't know that it. I think it was just an honest evaluation, to be honest. I really think that it was just this: who is going to give us the best opportunity here? But Braxton Jones was healthy.
Yeah. He was the starting left tackle this year.
So next year,
Beginning of the season.
they would have Braxton Jones, Karan Amagaji, Theo Benedict. Where do you stand on this? Would you rather they draft a left tackle at 25? Is that where they're drafting? I think at 25.
25.
Okay. Where you probably would have a fairly good shot at finding a good one at the end of the first round, as opposed to a pass rusher that if you're not in the top 12, they may be gone.
Presented that way, I would say left tackle.
That's how I feel. I don't think, and this is not a reflection at all on what they feel about Ozzie Trapillo and where he was.
No.
I don't think you ever count on someone coming back from injury 100%.
Well,
look at Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones could not come back.
No, it's taken him so long to even be healthy enough to try. Ryan Poles made it clear that Ozzie's going to be out until deep into this calendar year.
Yeah.
So that you have a need right there. I think that it's a glaring need for the identity of this team now, right? I think Courtney said it yesterday morning when she was on with Cap and Jay Hood. She said, this is an offensive team right now. This is where your focus needs to be. And that's factual. That's who they are. I would say that is both high priorities. I would say left tackle.
I remember, I'm old enough to remember when Wendell Davis tore both patella tendons
Oh,
in his
my
knees.
gosh.
At the
Ouch.
old, what was the Eagles stadium called? Veterans Stadium?
Yes.
Was that it?
That sounds right.
Okay. And that essentially ended his NFL career.
Yeah, one would think.
Yeah. Now, Ozzie Trapillo did it in one knee. This is 30 years later.
Yeah.
You would think that technology, medical technology, sports orthopedics is well advanced. Yeah, that was 1993. Holy cow. Wow. Yeah, so I remember that, and that was like just your stomach literally dropped when that happened. And it was all blamed on turf, on AstroTurf. Not anymore. But I don't think you can rely on him coming back. I would rather you don't rely on it.
Yes.
Don't rely on him. Give him the full year to rehab. And if you have a wonderful problem on your hands in another year with 2 left tackles, hallelujah.
God bless it. Yep, agreed.
I just
agree.
They don't grow on trees.
This has been a struggle for so
Yes.
long. Like it's not a bad thing to have more than one that you can rely on.
Yes.
I mean, history has shown they're not all going to stay healthy.
And I know that everyone says you have to draft a defensive end, a pass rusher, and develop him so that you can get him under contract. You can have him for 4 to 5 years. I just feel like the Bears have not proven that they can scout that.
Right.
Get the proven pass rusher in free agency. I know they don't really have the money. They don't have the space right now. But I'm tired of the projects. I'm tired of the guys that haven't worked out, that they have tried to bring in there. Just get the proven guy already.
I know.
That's just how I feel. When we do Would You Rather, I would say left tackle.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement on that. Talk to me about Dio Odengbo. Is this...
he wasn't doing anything before he got injured.
He wasn't.
And, he was a flash. He was a flash in the pan.
2 more years of...
Yeah.
with 32.
And here's another guy that's coming off of... What did he have?
Guaranteed.
Torn ACL or Achilles?
Hold on.
I'm trying to remember what he had. Anyways.
You almost forgot he was there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was Sewell that had the torn Achilles.
He did too.
Oh, was it?
Odengbo
It was.
also had
Odengbo also
Okay.
had an Achilles. That was early November. What game was that?
I'm not convinced on any of those inside guys. And they moved him around a lot. They moved him around. They moved him from outside inside.
Shamar Turner,
another injured guy, young, did not show anything before.
How much did he play?
Before his knee injury.
I believe he was a healthy scratch early in the season and then got hurt.
Yeah. So I don't think you cannot plan on him either.
No.
All right, let's move to the one that you really hate.
I really do not like this question. And we have
Well,
not
let's
mentioned
go
that
Byard
we
and
still
Brisker.
Can't take phone calls, right?
No, we. Oh yeah. By the way,
we have not mentioned this at all
Yeah.
throughout this entire show. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we have not mentioned it. But our phones are down here at.
It's all right. We did not pay the bill.
We did not pay the bill. Although Waddle and Sylvie said that maybe I cut it, Tracy Butler and I, and then they said no, it's more likely that you cut the phone lines off.
That who did?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Smoke them out. I don't know. That's what Tyler said. I was
What?
Like, wait. Why?
So
How
what do
did
you
we
mean
get
smoke
dragged?
them out?
Oh, like force them out of the building. I was like, how did we get dragged into this?
Wow.
Anyway,
No
we
one
can-
is dirtier than Peggy.
Oh, come on, Sylvie.
We can confirm we did not cut the phone lines.
Right.
But that is why we have not taken any phone calls today. So we apologize for that. But hopefully they'll be up and running soon, so we can continue to interact with you guys. Anyway, go ahead. So,
you can tweet at us.
Oh, yeah.
Like I heard the morning show doing their video questions. If you send it on X, you could do a video question to us, and we might actually see it.
We might. We
We
might
might
not.
see it.
And we also might not. So.
Okay, Byard or Brisker? All pro or younger guy? Any guarantee that Byard, who they got on a 2-year, $15 million contract, but ends up being an all pro this year, his price tag is going to go up. can continue to have the same career year that he had, or career tying year that he had, leading the NFL in interceptions, or Jaquan Brisker, who had a hell of a game in what could be his last game. And that made me sad when I saw how upset he was in the locker room afterwards. I thought, wow, we didn't even talk about that. Could have been his last game. He had a hell of a game. That's what they needed all season long out of him.
Yeah.
Byard or Brisker?
Byard.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
What he provides in the locker room as well. I think they really like that aspect of his leadership.
It's a lot of money to pay for leadership.
It is, but also he told someone how much money he spends on his body. Who was it?
Yeah,
we talked about, right? Like how well he takes care of himself.
Yeah.
And he's available. He doesn't miss a game. Jaquan Brisker is inconsistent. We can't keep him on the field.
That's a really good point.
Kevin Byard plays every game.
Really good point. And now here's the one that you hate.
I know, I don't like this. I don't know why you're. And if we had phone calls, they'd be livid too. I just know it.
Would you rather DJ Moore or Cole Kmet?
Don't make me choose. This is mean.
And the reason I say that they don't have contracts that are expiring, but the cap hits could clear up space.
I don't know. You tell me. What do you think?
I think you can find wide receivers in the draft. I think wide receivers now, those kids. We talked about this a year ago. They come out of high school and they're running NFL offenses. I think that what Cole Kmet does in every aspect of the offense, boy, it's selfless. It's selfless. It may not be pretty when he lumbers after a catch and you're not sure if he's going to fall down or stay up on his feet. It may not be pretty, but he's like a warrior.
Yes.
And he throws his body in there, whether it's pass pro or run blocking. He's an extension of the offensive line more often than not. I'm not sure that you can find that all the time.
The things
and it's not going to cost the same.
No, of course not.
The cap hit with a wide receiver is bigger.
Bigger, of course it is. DJ to me seems like the type of guy that they would epitomize as the Chicago Bear. Right?
And I really like DJ.
Oh, I mean,
I do.
And again, I'm like all about emotions and feelings and the heart behind it all. I love what he does in the community. I love that matters to him. I love how generous he is, how in the way he supports his teammates that we don't even see, right? Like the way that they all look up to him. And
you can only have so many of those guys on the roster, Dionne.
I know, but
you want Byard for that reason. You want DJ for that reason.
Yeah, you're right.
Some guys have to win.
I know.
And they both did it on the field this year.
Oh, they did.
But there is no guarantee next year.
I mean, I just can't.
And I think DJ was really banged up.
Oh, I do too.
At the end of the season.
He played through everything.
They kept looking at his knee the last couple of games. He was in and out of the blue tent.
I think he was really beat up, yeah.
I do too. And he bought into wide receivers blocking.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the season, there were too many times when you saw him kind of half-heartedly going at it. But he really did buy in
I know you're right about finding another wide receiver. It's just
I don't think there's a right answer, but this is what they have to decide.
But that's what they have to talk about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You might already have that receiver in the building.
Yeah.
You think about it.
I know.
With Luther Burden.
Yeah.
And the amount of packages he was out there in. Imagine that guy out there every snap.
Now he needs to learn the offense. He needs to learn the routes. He needs to,
He needs to have his grow up moment too. And Rome needs to get healthy. That is. He was so sad on Monday. Rome Odunze. So sad.
How about how honest he was with what they told him in his exit interview?
I feel like he had just come out from that moment and then talked to us.
You need to catch the balls that are thrown to you.
Well, even Ben Johnson said, we've got to catch. Well, that's going to be a point of emphasis.
That they had the fifth most drops?
Oh, you would know better than me. Is that right? Yep. The fifth most drops?
Wow. I saw that number this week. I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was
and
that
how
much.
many yards did he finish shy of 4,000? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, I have a bone to pick with all this Hoosier hate that is going on. Can we talk a little bit about this Hoosier hate? I'm not a college football fan. I am literally just a bystander. And I kind of half listened to some of it, but darn, there's a lot of hate going on.
There is.
Let's talk about that when we come back. All right.
You're listening to Peggy and Dion on Chicago's home for sports. This
is ESPN Chicago.
Sometimes the conversation can get away from the team on ESPN Chicago's Cap and J Hood Show. Fortunately, there's always room for a sidebar.
Just a quick sidebar, may I approach?
Sidebars on the Cap and J Hood Show are presented by Hankin Law.
This winter, I finally decided to upgrade some old windows. And now that it is scary cold outside, I am so glad that I did. I connected with Russ Armstrong, the Chicago window guy, and he came out to my house himself. Took a look at everything, helped me find the perfect custom windows for our space. Chicago Window Guys has the most energy-efficient windows and doors at the lowest price, guaranteed, with a lifetime guarantee. If this cold air is creeping into your home, trust who I trust. Call Chicago Window Guys at 847-881-3060 and check out the 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com.
Hit the road in a brand new Acura in less than 1 hour. At Advantage Acura Naperville, you can sign and drive away in 60 minutes or less. Seriously. Or they'll cover your first car payment. Every new Acura is backed by the Advantage Plus program. Advantage Acura Naperville. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Nature is calling. No, not that way. Fishing, hunting, hiking, nature. Chauncey's Great Outdoors, Saturday mornings from 6 to 7 and available on demand on the ESPN Chicago app.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come in and check out Macy's this weekend for new active sets to keep up with your New Year's goals. There are so many great pieces in the store, and the deals are incredible. Like head-to-toe men's and women's looks from Adidas, Champion, and more, all for $50 and under. So head into the store and walk out with great deals on new active and so much more starting tomorrow. At Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Welcome back to Peggy and Dion on 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
They hand it off to the fullback / tight end, and he powers in. Touchdown, Indiana. A dominant start here for the number 1 team. Has time, now running out of it is Bain, chases him down and makes the sack. Fletcher breaks free. Mark Fletcher in the foot race. Miami touchdown. So Dylan Joyce back on. Blocked! Indiana blocks the punt and falls on it for a touchdown. Isaac Isaiah Jones on the recovery. Fletcher walks in. Miami touchdown. What a response. He's going to take off and run. Mendoza weaves his way first and goal. Diving toward the end zone. Touchdown. That's where he won the Heisman Trophy. He's got it on the pitch. Tony breaks free. Malachi Tony spinning, scoring. Beck steps up, delivers downfield, and intercepted. Jamari Sharp makes the pick that will clinch Indiana's first national championship.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
The confidence in Curt Cignetti is impressive. The fact that Indiana won the national title in football is still mind-boggling.
I know.
For me.
Like, we all have friends who went to Indiana.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Never, ever have I ever heard them say anything about football.
No.
Outside, like, the only thing I knew about Indiana football was Antoine Randall, Adewale Ogunleye.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, I was like, okay. It was so fun.
It was
to watch this team. But for the Hoosier haters who...
Well, how could you... Listen, first of all, how could you possibly hate on a team that did more losing in college football than, like, anyone ever?
Because they're pointing and saying you basically bought your way to a championship.
And that's allowed now.
But Cignetti even said, if you pull up the interviews, when he took the job, the first week, 11 guys entered the transfer portal. And he looked at his staff and he was like, well, we got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And they didn't go and bring in the 5-star recruits. They brought in a quarterback that was barely 500 at Cal. He brought in players from James freaking Madison.
Right, right.
mean, it's not like the Georgia, LSU, Oklahoma, Texases, are rating each other's, rosters, Ole Miss, whoever, like that was the one thing. Like every time I heard someone say, well, NIL. Yes, NIL money kept them there.
Yeah.
And yes, they ended up spending top 10, but no more than the other teams that were in the college football Final Four. So they didn't spend any more than those teams. So, you look, Ole Miss caught a lot of crap. They're the ones that were trying to buy a championship.
They were.
Texas Tech, those guys. But now the Hoosier hate on Mendoza is very curious to me.
It's curious to me, too. Now, I don't know if he is going... I know he announced he's going to enter the NFL. I don't know if he is going to be a great NFL quarterback. So many quarterbacks in college football just simply don't translate the same way. I don't know if that's going to happen. But, I mean, why would he not... Why would I hate on him for what he's done?
The hate is not about his football ability.
No, it's about his...
The hate is about his personality. Yeah. I'm going to have you listen to a series of these clips. These are all from the Today Show, right? Okay, these are all from his interview on the Today Show. Now, I'm going to grant you, he does sound fake. He does sound rehearsed. He does not sound real enough in the sense that those real moments, like after the game when he's like... and he can't find the words.
In the camera and
that's
screaming.
Funny and that's exciting and that makes you relate to him. Okay, yes, he does sound like he has memorized some of these lines, but I don't think that's what the hate has to do with. And I'm going to tell you after we listen to these.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, I'm an undergraduate student, so I do have another year of eligibility. However, my mentors, my coaches, they told me it was time to leave. They told me, hey, NNI here in Hoosier Nation, you want to be remembered like that, so leave. But all jokes aside, it was the right decision. It was the right time. I've had so many snaps and plays of college football that I've been able to develop into a player that I am proud to, think that I could be a good pro-level quarterback. Yeah. There's so many different attributes and elements that I need to improve on my game in order to be a successful pro quarterback. As a college and NFL game are very different. However, I think I'm ready to take the next step. Now that we won after, it was super sweet. You know, as a kid, I had my whole entire face painted orange and green, going to games at Hard Rock Stadium, watching the Canes play. Then, you know, got passed up on them because at the moment I was a 2-star recruit, not very highly touted, and still a lot of work to do. However, I got in the gym, you know, connected with a lot of teammates I've had along the way, and coaches pushed me to my extremes, and lucky enough to have a storybook ending, beating the Miami Hurricanes in Miami in the national championship.
Yeah, I called Mr. Tebow and a lot of my other mentors yesterday and early today, because, you know, Mr. Tebow played in 2 national championships. He has that experience. You can call him Tim. Yeah, Tim. All right. I talked to Tim, and he gave me great advice.
And that's who the haters are calling him the next Tim Tebow. Not just based on his football ability,
right,
but because he wears his faith publicly, and he mentions it all the time, and that he's you know, a good-looking guy that is well-spoken and sounds like he's very well-rehearsed, and that he's always giving a speech,
Yeah,
very much like Tebow.
Yeah.
But I think it has to do more with the fact that he always talks about his faith. And that, you know, he took pictures with some of the priests on campus in Bloomington with his Heisman Trophy. I mean, I think Cap even brought it up.
Did he?
Cap and Hood were talking about it. That they were like, yeah, I don't need to hear about, you know, God here and Jesus here and this and that. I don't hear anyone saying that when Lamar Jackson says it.
Oh, I mean,
I don't hear anyone saying it when C.J. Stroud would say it last year.
Correct.
I didn't hear anyone say anything when Colston Loveland brings it up.
And he does a lot. He does a lot.
So why?
I don't know.
Fernando Mendoza.
I'm not sure. I will say he does sound rehearsed. I was listening to it. I'm like, why would this bother people? He never says He says however.
However.
That's like his.
However, that's his fallback word.
It's fallback word, but he never pauses. It's all like stream of consciousness. Like it's all so like coming.
It's very nerdy.
It's very nerdy, but gosh, like leave him alone. I don't know. He just accomplished something so remarkable. Showed some toughness on the field in that game on Monday night, which I have to be honest, I did not watch a lot of because we were at the United Center. But it was. I mean, I don't understand the hate either. And if it's just, you know how I feel about my own faith and sharing my own faith. Like, why do we hate on people like that? We live in, it's the year of our Lord 2026. Like, people can say and believe what they want to believe.
This is what I will say. Back when, and Yurko could totally probably talk about this, though I doubt that he would. Back in the Jacksonville days, with, oh my gosh, who was his quarterback in Jacksonville? And they had the whole Fellowship of Christian Athletes, a very, there was even, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the whole religion that was very controversial. Listen, there were a lot, and there are a lot of fakes. Mm-hmm. And there are people that will totally lean on their faith and use it as a guise so that you don't question them, because I am a good faith-bearing man, right? Yes, there are fakes out there. And yes, there are people that hide behind that, and you could typically see through it.
Yeah.
I don't think, first of all, Tim Tebow, there was nothing fake about that.
That was so authentic, yeah.
I don't see that we are going to be like, oh, this is such an act. This is so fake.
Right.
They're going to find this awful stuff about Fernando Mendoza.
Oh my gosh, that's not going to happen.
Right?
No chance. No chance. But you know what's interesting is I spoke to a youth group a couple weeks ago, and that was a question someone asked me. Can you tell if it's real and if it isn't?
That's a great question.
And I said it is. I said you can typically tell. I think you can tell. I will say this, like, you follow Colston Loveland on Instagram. The only thing he posts is Bible verses occasionally. And then he did something about the season. But he, like pictures of him from the season and whatever. But on his stories, routinely it's just a Bible verse. That's it.
Yeah.
So that to me feels authentic.
This was back when Tom Coughlin was coaching the Jaguars, and it was the Champions for Christ. That was with Mark Brunell.
That's who it was, yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about it back then. I think even Curtis Enos was a part of this.
Yeah.
So I get it that you can definitely question because, there have been, I'm a Catholic, and my goodness, there have been plenty of stories to turn around and look and say, what a hypocrite. What a hypocrite. But I look at Fernando Mendoza and I'm like, there's no reason to put him in that group. There's no reason to put him in that group when everything, it's not like he suddenly, found God at this point when it was convenient.
It's not new.
So that was the only thing. That was my riff. I'm sorry.
I will say, I think he's a little bit lucky that the Raiders have the number 1 overall pick and not the Jets. Just the media landscape of both those two teams.
Good point.
Like you guys both know from TV, I'm completely with you on this whole thing. But when you're interviewing someone and you're having a conversation with them, the fact that he just looks straight into the camera, that bugs me.
He needs some media training with that, for sure.
When the Today Show, Carson Daly, when they said, we have someone who's a huge Raiders fan, and Carson Daly walks out. And Carson Daly's like, first of all, when you go number 1 overall, and Fernando was like, no, I'm not. And he was, very humble and like, no, that hasn't happened yet. And he goes, I just want to tell you one thing from Raider Nation. I am very sorry. And so it was funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. And Fernando did not know, like, if you look at his face, he's got his plastered smile.
He didn't know how to respond to
it. And he didn't know how to respond to an off-the-cuff joke like that. So it was kind of like, I was like, you're exactly right about that.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. He's going to have to grow into the media.
No matter where
everyone's going to be nice about it.
No, they're not.
If he went to New York,
I know.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my Lord. Well played. I did hear on the Dan Patrick Show, he was talking about Ben Roethlisberger said that he would not, if he was the Raiders, he would not want them to draft him simply because they aren't prepared to develop him and they don't have the infrastructure in place to help him be the quarterback he can be.
They have Tom Brady now.
I know it's one person. He even says he's more focused on TV than he is being.
Isn't he part of the whole? Operations. He's very involved right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, this will be interesting. Okay, when we come back, we're going to go from one end of the spectrum, talking about a faith-based athlete, Fernando Mendoza, to the other end. Not saying that this athlete is not faith-based at all, but the show, Hunting Wives.
Oh gosh.
You will see a Chicago athlete who has joined the cast of the Hunting Wives. And I know that this is Carmen, I'm sure Carmen and Sylvie, anyone who has watched that show. Wow. And I don't know what this athlete's role is going to be.
Okay.
But the pictures are on Instagram, and we'll tell you who's going to be joining the racy, raunchy cast of the Hunting Wives. Coming up.
Lord is right.
Peggy and Dion on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago.
ESPN's The Hockey Show. Ready to rock the rinks with Chicago's best hockey knowledge. Brought to you by Chevy Drive Chicago. The Hockey Show, Wednesday night at 6 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
Hey, it's your buddy Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. The New Year's sales event is going on at all 12 Hawk Auto locations in Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 brands and save with 0% financing for 60 months or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with $500 to $2,000 bonus cash. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing on select models with approved credit.
It's playoff time, Chicago. Time to bet on the road to the championship on Circa Sports Illinois. Circa Sports Illinois is sports betting the way it should be. From championship and conference futures to sides, totals, or prop bets for every round, there is simply no better place to bet. Circa Sports offers high app limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and no bet fees ever. Download your new bookie today at circasports.com. Got to be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
We're here at Menards Bag Sale, asking shoppers what they're putting in the bag to get 15% off.
Paint, batteries, tools, toilet paper,
extension cords, grocery items,
hardware for my cabinets, snack items, crackers, and some canned goods stuff.
Shop vac supplies, toothpaste, cereal, coffee, dog treats. I've got a lot of stuff to grab.
The list goes on, but the sale ends January 24th. Hurry in for Menards 15% off bag sale. See store for complete details.
Save big money at Menards.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Welcome back to Peggy and Dion on 100.3 HD2, the ESPN Chicago app, and ESPN 1000. This is Breaking News, brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Breaking News on ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
Well, I have no idea what this is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Aiden.
Another head coach opening has been filled.
Ah.
It's an old friend. Mike McCarthy is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
Wow.
He's a Pittsburgh native.
Yeah.
He is.
Wow.
Which could possibly
I like that. I could
think
see
that fits. I do too.
I don't know.
Why do you say that?
I don't
do you
think
think
he's a good
another
coach.
wash-up?
I would think they would go younger after Tomlin. Maybe find someone to be there for a while.
Well,
but
that's true.
Does it open the door to Aaron Rodgers coming back?
I think it. Oh, that's a great point.
That's a great point.
Well, I think it's always who you hire.
It is.
Who your assistants
now,
are.
the Steelers' MO is to keep a coach for
ever
and ever. Amen.
If you want make the playoffs and lose the first game, you got your guy.
I mean, that's kind of mean-spirited. But yes, you are correct. That it'll be interesting to see how that impacts Aaron Rodgers. It doesn't seem like it's the path they normally take, but I mean, wow. Yeah, great. Maybe this will be good for him being home and having that opportunity. It's very cool that it is his hometown.
Wow.
I think that's pretty cool.
Wow. So that means Steelers have Mike McCarthy, Ravens hired Jesse Minter, Giants hired John Harbaugh, Kevin Stefanski goes to the Falcons, Jeff Hafley to the Dolphins, Robert Saleh to the Titans. So now that leaves, there were 5. So now there's Bills, Browns, Cardinals, and Raiders.
Bills just interviewed Phillip Rivers.
Right. Yeah. Again, I think that's all
What are we
just
doing?
Searching. I think it's just searching. I just
Yeah.
think it's like fact-finding and stuff like that. But
It's
Browns,
like dating.
Cardinals, and Raiders.
This is like speed dating. That's what it feels like.
Like, make me a match. Right, exactly. Like the best job is still available.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the coaches, as in Kevin Stefanski and John Harbaugh, who took jobs before McDermott was fired, are kind of kicking themselves?
Until they saw that press
Until
conference.
they saw that press conference, and then they realized that isn't what
Do you
they want to
remember
do.
what Ben Johnson's agent said? How one of the things that was important to Ben Johnson was the leadership of the owners with the Chicago Bears, and we were like, okay, so are you seeing something that people haven't seen in a long time that makes him think that the ownership is in a position? And he said, yes. So if you are like Ben Johnson and you're looking at the ownership and what they did last week with the Bills, I don't think John Harbaugh is like going, darn, I should have taken that Bills job.
Right. Especially because the leadership that he's dealt with in Baltimore for all this time has been exceptional.
Right. Well, we'll see if Mike McCarthy can actually adjust to a 2026 type of NFL offense.
Yeah, we will see.
I know you were going to read something before we were interrupted by our breaking news.
Yes, I was, and it's important to read. Peggy and Dion is brought to you by the Advantage Dealer Group. Car buying on your time. Advantage Dealer Group's 60-minute guarantee makes it simple and fast. Shop online, explore financing, and then drive off in 60 minutes or less. Advantage Dealer Group, where car buying fits your schedule, and there's more. The Peggy and Dion Show is also brought to you by Zazu Salons. Their new Geneva location is now open. Book your next cut, color, or blowout at ZazuSalons.com and discover the Zazu difference. I might say that again like 4 times before we're done with our show in 15 minutes, but here we are. So there we go. So McCarthy is in with the Steelers. Interesting. What has Aaron Rodgers said? Nothing yet, right?
Nothing.
Fascinating.
He's got to talk to his wife about it. Okay.
I mean,
a Chicago athlete.
Oh yeah,
will be on.
I think I know who.
One of the raciest TV shows.
Okay. Help a girl out.
It's called The Hunting Wives.
What is that? What is it?
It is basically kind of like a Real Housewives.
Okay.
But it's more rural. It's
so they really are like hunting.
Yes,
Okay.
they're like wives
outdoorsy.
Very, very.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
like they all go shooting and stuff, but they're all hot. There are affairs with each other and also with like a couple high school athletes.
What?
Oh yeah.
This is on television?
Oh yeah. It is really a good show. It really is good. And I just happened upon this little tidbit. If you have checked out Instagram, you will see the pictures of a certain Chicago athlete sitting in a director's chair for The Hunting Wives. Aiden, who do you think it is?
I looked up. I've never seen the show. I looked it up, and I'm seeing all the very good-looking women in the backdrop. It looks rural, a lot of camo. And now that you say Instagram post, I thought it was a shoe-in. I thought it was Jay Cutler.
Oh, wow. It's not Jay Cutler. Do you have any guess, Dion?
None.
You have no idea who it might be?
No. Like I'm like learning about this show in real time. So
Okay.
I have nothing.
Angel Reese.
Really?
Angel Reese
more wrong.
posted last year during season 1 of the Netflix show what a big fan she was of this crazy show and like how great it was, blah, blah, blah. She told People magazine that after she appeared in House of Dynamite last year, that she was hiring an acting coach to pursue acting since she already does modeling. And on her Instagram, you see a post with her and one of the actors from Hunting Wives. His name is George Ferrier. I think it's Ferrier. George Ferrier is the All-American boy football player. Or is he basketball athlete, high school athlete. Oh, he's one of the ones who has an affair with one of the wives. And he's supposed to, in season 2, be going to college next year to play college sports at Baylor. Okay. So people are assuming Angel Reese is going to be a Baylor athlete, maybe, or something like that.
Trainer Barbie is her character.
Oh, she's a trainer.
So wait a minute. So this is not reality. This is an acting show.
Yeah, no, it's a show. Yeah, it's not a reality show.
See, that's what I was envisioning it being more reality.
No,
it's
it's
like
not.
an acting show.
Yes, it's more like a very racy version of what's the oh my gosh, what's the hit one on Landman? Like,
also have not seen that.
It's kind of like
do you know
a much racier
I've seen
version.
Landman. I like Landman. I've never seen this.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that kind of genre type. Yeah. So Angel Reese will be in season 2.
When have they begun filming? I'm assuming. Yes.
They did begin filming.
And when does it?
I don't know when it's
season 2.
Typically, it all starts in the spring.
So does the WNBA season. Just wondering how it's all gonna.
Oh, look at that!
Even out.
She's already filmed them.
Yeah.
So, but I said, of course she is, but she's a trainer.
That's what
so
it says.
She's not
it says
going to be
trainer
in one
Barbie.
of the racy
Trainer Barbie.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. Interesting. All right, let's take another break. When we come back, I'm trying to think. I think I want to see. Did you see the latest handshake to cause a little stir?
No, I did not.
Okay, I want you to search it during this break.
Will do.
At the Australian Open, the latest handshake to cause a stir, and it just makes you go, well, why are we still doing handshakes?
Why are we?
Because we love when stuff like this happens.
You're listening to Peggy and Dion on Chicago's home for sports. This is ESPN 1000. The Cap and J Hood podcast is available on the ESPN Chicago app and wherever you like to pod. Presented by Republic Bank. Or listen live to Cap and J Hood on the app as well. Weekday morning 6 to 9, ESPN Chicago.
It's the season of performance at Advantage Acura of Naperville. As you know, when I was on the hunt for a new car, I knew what I wanted. I just didn't know where to find it. So I turned to my friends at Advantage Acura of Naperville, and they made the process seamless and stress-free. I drove away in a brand new Acura MDX that is sleek, high-tech, and super fun to drive. As the holidays are behind us, it is still the perfect time for you to find your dream car. The team there went above and beyond for me, but they want to do the same thing for you. So if you're in the market for a new car, visit Advantage Acura of Naperville today and take advantage of their season of performance.
Hey, Chicago, headed to a game? Take the CTA. We'll get you to the game and back for just $5.
That's less money spent on travel and more money in your pocket.
No searching for parking, no random surge pricing on rideshare, no traffic. We'll do the driving for you. The CTA has train stations and bus stops within steps of all the major stadiums and venues in the city. Plus, we've got tap to pay available on all CTA trains and buses. There's no need to purchase a ticket ahead of time.
Just tap and ride.
Plan your next trip at transitchicago.com/plan-a-trip. Save money, do more, ride CTA.
Just like a strong offense keeps moving the ball, Republic Bank of Chicago's business banking solutions can keep your company growing. Business checking, treasury management, commercial loans, big business, small business. Republic Bank has everything you need for your business. Our team is here to get you back in the game and moving in the right direction. Experience banking beyond expectations. Only at Republic Bank of Chicago. Member FDIC. Visit ourbankchicago.com today. For over 50 years, M&M Home Remodeling has delivered expert craftsmanship, honest service, and the industry's best warranties across Chicagoland, earning the Better Business Bureau Torch Award for business ethics twice. Now, the trusted name in home remodeling also powers M&M Commercial Roofing. From leak repairs to full roof replacements, your business gets the same quality, transparency, and long-term protection you expect from M&M. Protect your property. Call M&M Home Remodeling and M&M Commercial Roofing. Your peace of mind is guaranteed.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step Walk-In Tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Follow Chicago's Home for Sports on Instagram at ESPN_Chicago.
Okay, we're all listening.
Now back to Peggy and Dion.
This is ESPN Chicago, Chicago's home for sports.
I'm going to shake your hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
What was that? I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand.
Never seen that guy going crazy on the plane? All he wants to do is shake the guy's hand.
I don't know that.
No.
Look it up. It's pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, my gosh. Handshakes.
Okay, talk to me.
So, we ended up watching Ben Johnson and every handshake since the Packers, right? And it became such a topic of discussion. It's classless and all that stuff. Whatever, okay? And then, I found articles about George Halas and Lombardi never shook hands after a game, yet they had a professional respect for each other, whatever. So at the Australian Open tennis, Naomi Osaka was playing this Romanian, and I don't know how to say her name, Sorana Cristea, an unseeded player. And she was mad that Osaka was pumping her fist and getting herself psyched up during the match between points and before her opponent was serving. She'd be yelling to herself, come on, like she's pumping herself up. She's talking to herself, right? Mm-hmm. After Osaka beat the unseeded Romanian player, they went to the net for the handshake, and she did a Ben Johnson drive-by. Super fast, and just not Osaka, but the Romanian.
The other lady. The Romanian.
Then when they got to the end of the net, the Romanian players started having words with Osaka. And Osaka in the postgame was almost near tears, saying, I didn't realize she was so upset that I was doing that. She could have said something, during the match instead of, trying to make it whatever. Mm-hmm. I just found that hysterical that now how much we are looking at the handshakes.
At handshakes.
I love it. I love it. Like hockey, it always would amaze me that they would do the handshake line because they're like, how your emotions are not so high that you just want to pounce on the person that just beat you.
You can't like turn that off that quickly.
And everyone's like, oh, just turn it off. And like, all right, let's go midfield now. And everyone, kumbaya and talk about, going out to dinner and swapping jerseys.
I mean, I know. No, well, see, I think there's a little too much of that going on.
Yes.
In the highest level of competition. I think there's a little too much of that going on. Osaka was forced to withdraw from the Australian Open due to injury today.
Again.
Yeah, again.
It's like her biggest issue.
It is.
Did you see how she talked about Angel Reese being, how the WNBA now totally better than the men's leagues with the arrivals on the carpets.
Oh, my gosh.
And having their own personal designers now with the clothing that they're wearing in arrivals for games. Did you see what Osaka wore before?
Yes, I did. The white over the, yes.
I'm not sure how to describe it.
I'm not sure either. She looked not like she was going to a tennis match, that's for sure.
It was like a big wide brim.
Yeah, it was a wide brim white hat
with
and
a
then like
floor length netting that draped over the hat.
Yep, over the hat, and it was like flowing behind her.
And she had a Nike golf outfit on, tie-dye, with like white pleats that were attached to it that went full length to like match the hat.
Yeah. And she also had some sort of a parasol.
Yeah, she had an umbrella.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was from a designer.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
I mean, that is now in every sport. It is I just hope, like, just save some money to people. Like this is great, and I love it. Like, if you go through Angel Reese and her Instagram, like, the fashion is fabulous. It's amazing. It really is.
It is. Oh, my gosh. Uh-huh.
And I would think that someone like Angel Reese is getting everything is donated just so that she can put it on social media. Much like, I mean, look at what Jalen Johnson wore. That red suit, red on red.
Red on red. And he was so pumped to put it back on after they won that game.
Do they, please tell me that is either comped and they give it back after wearing it once?
I'm not sure.
Or donated?
That's the other thing. They're only wearing it one time. She can't wear that again.
No way.
No way. She said, this is what she said. She told Vogue. I look at the players that came before me. I think about how those moments, those looks have become memories that live forever. So much of the time, other people get to write our stories for us. This felt like a moment where I could write my own.
And then she got injured again.
And then she got injured.
That, unfortunately, will be the story.
The cold, limp handshake, and then she got injured.
Wow.
But at least she made an entrance.
Yeah. I mean, even the female, the wags of the Bears, it was about what they were wearing.
Of course.
Every game. So crazy.
But it was fun to see.
This was fun.
It's always fun, Peg.
This was
I
fun.
love to see you.
Yeah. Aiden, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Great
Aiden.
job as always. Thank you for coming in and braving the cold. We appreciate that.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hopefully we can chat more in the future.
I know, right? Yeah, maybe the phones will be working.
Oh, gosh. They will, I'm sure. And I heard Sylvie say this, and it's true. Just because the Bears are done does not mean we are. We are still your home for the Bears. We will always talk about the Bears, but all the other things going on in our fantastic sports city. It has been really fun to be so proud of us the last couple of weeks and the spotlight that Chicago has been in. And that will continue. So
keep it
Derrick
tuned.
Rose night at the UC.
Yes, that's
There's
right.
plenty of great things to see and talk about. We'll talk about it on the Mighty 7 and then back here again with Peggy and Dion next week.
Keep it tuned to ESPN 1000. Make it a great one, everyone.
More Peggy and Dion coming up
on Chicago's Home for Sports, ESPN Chicago.
Hey, this is David Kaplan. I dislike winter. Give me a 95-degree sunny summer day and I'm a happy guy. So I spend most of my winter free time indoors, and it's why I rely on Automatic. They've been